be over to you, Dota. So have fun.
Ralph is in here. Oh,
yeah, I am in here. But he means in game.
It's kind of hard to cast if you can't.
Oh,
1 second.
But
My
he
game's in game. Turning on right now. So
Just
just give it a second.
Oh.
1 second. My
Which
game's
means
in game.
top is the tier
Turning on
casting,
right
where
now.
you just go off
So,
the play-by-play settings.
Just give it a second. 1 second. Isn't that the best? Turning on right now. So
I mean, that sounds a lot more painful than it should.
isn't that the best?
Try to analyze what the fuck is going on with the play-by-play in case
That
more.
sounds a lot more for Dota.
Isn't that the best?
Try to analyze what the fuck.
Oh, oh, Pisturo. That sounds right. Pisturo. Let's call him 47. I do like that spicy Cassiopeia. Technically, that could be an ADC or a mid laner. Most likely towards the mid lane from
Maybe
past experience, but recently we did see Cassiopeia in the ADC role in LCS at least.
Jungle
Um,
picks coming out early, just as I thought, with Sejuani and Lee Sin being picked for both KWB and Nevermore, respectively.
so especially if an ADC isn't picked here, I think that wait 1 second. I think that KWB will be the ones to pick an
Oh, and
ADC
there's the
here
top.
because this would be a good spot to pick an ADC and ban out an ADC in the when with their 2 remaining bans.
Murderkais are going on the classic with Shen. Right.
I love that pick. I love it, especially with the Lee Sin. Great combination because the synergy between the champions, because you can have Lee Sin go in with the Shen ult on top and make sure the Shen stays alive. And then, Shen's automatically in the back line able to get some taunts on, stopping the ADC or another carry. Rise pick gets in there. So ADC bans, I assume here. From both
Might
sides.
very well be
There's Silver.
might very well be some top lane bans coming on the side of Nevermore, seeing as they already had a focus with the Alawi against Lamb's Arrow.
That's true. That's true. That's a good.
There comes
That's a
up
good
the
idea.
time. They're probably going to look to reduce the options that can affect against Shen, so then he's free to affect the map as he needs to.
Yep. Also, Lucian is still up. I don't know if anybody wants to play Lucian or Ezreal. Both are still good champions at this current time in this meta. Also, I saw Varus might actually be a strong champion right now. A certain build.
Varus has the lowest win rate out of almost
Oh,
every
I
ADC.
saw a new build coming out for him, and apparently, it's being played in Korea.
I don't think we're going to be seeing any spicy Korean builds coming out.
I wouldn't mind it personally.
That was the final ban from Nevermore, and now we get a shy teenage girl picking most likely either the top laner or the ADC. I see them picking the ADC at this point to leave top with the counter.
Yep, there's
And
Lucian.
there comes out the Lucian.
Love it.
Lucian Thresh, always a classic and very strong both early and mid game lane. It'll be interesting to see what bot lane Nevermore pulls out to counter it. Either they might look to pace against it, or they might look just to play the game chill. With the gym pick, it's looking like they're going to play it more chill.
Yeah, I was gonna say an Ezreal Ezreal pick would be pretty strong. Or dang, oh, I could see a Yasuo Alistar. Oh, there's an Ezreal. Oh, that's a. So a couple of the best ADCs in the game still got through. I mean, the Sivir did get banned. I think she's S tier right now ADC. But
Ezreal and Nami coming in, so it's looking like they're looking to just survive the lane, get out of laning phase, and affect the map elsewhere.
Yep. So they might.
Yora coming in against the Shen.
I like that. That's a spicy pick right there. I am interested to see this game. You have a very aggressive Lee Sin Shen, and then you have the super strong backline damage coming in from Cassiopeia Ezreal with the Nami for the sustain. Then you have this just
it's looking
nasty.
it's looking like we're seeing a lane swap from Mr. Booty Icebuster and Undead Hero, with the Shen being with Undead going top and Booty Ice going mid on Cassiopeia.
It looks like that actually.
All of Killer Brigade is looking like they'll stay on their on the traditional roles that they've gone against. I wonder if this will affect anything regarding how KWB plays this game.
Yeah, so I feel like
a lot of this game will be 4v4 fights with two split pushers playing. Yeah. Shen does have the option to easily join fights in, but they might look to just try to keep Shen against the Fiora as much as possible, especially if he gets an early game advantage against Fiora.
Also, Fiora can't stop Shen ult unless she kills him. That's it.
she can get a good chunk of damage off a quick
Yeah.
quick passive proc and then an ult, and that's easily like 2/3 of his HP just gone.
Yeah. Well,
In a
no, I was
very-
just saying like if Shen has ult and Fiora doesn't have TP, like even if she just sees him, she can't exactly stop him if he has a good amount of health and a good distance away. There's no way to like put any CC on him like like a
This
Scion would have been able to do.
I feel like this game will be heavily decided, at least early game, on on what happens top. Mid will be Cassiopeia will be strong unless Rise somehow gets ahead very easily early game. Mid game will be mid game will be very much so biased towards the Cassiopeia, but as the game goes on, the KWB will get significantly stronger than Nevermore.
Yeah, yeah. I can agree with that for the most part. I am pretty scared of that Ezreal Cassiopeia combo though, and I want to see if they can get their their power spikes online like quickly. I feel like Nevermore has a pretty good chance to win this game. I do like.
I feel KWB has a better overall team fight, especially in a 4v4 scenario. Nevermore can easily turn a 4v4 into a 5v4, but Fiora's split push is pretty strong, and she can lay a lot of pressure, solo pressure. And unless someone else is ahead of Fiora, no one can 1v1 the Fiora, discounting Ezreal kiting her out.
Especially since Shen is probably going to be like utilizing his ult to go other lanes, so he might be a little bit behind the Fiora in farm.
I think the best play for the Shen right now, for the Shen early game, will be to just only ult away when his teleport is up, so he can constantly stay in the same lane as Fiora and keep up in both EXP and gold, while still being able to affect him.
Because like if he goes to bot lane, gets a double, like maybe not him getting kills, it'd be like assist wise for the most part, and then goes TPs directly back to the top lane, or backs TPs to the top lane. That'd be fine if he has enough to get like an item he needs, but it would be enough to keep him in the game against the Fiora early game. I mean, late game, it's still probably going to be Fiora winning the fight. But I think a lot of it will have to do to see like if Nevermore wants to win the game, I feel like they need to do something with Lee Sin early. Like Lee Sin needs to make some good plays and get like a lane far ahead. Like have Cassiopeia just dumpster Rise, and that's what they need to do.
Yeah, it's basically sink or swim on the Lee Sin. If he can't do anything early game, especially if going the electrocute, he is just going to absolutely fall off this game. So,
dang, Cassiopeia to conquer. I
can see how it works.
I can see it, especially with the new conquer. It's you can't proc it on minions anymore, but like the longer you're in a fight, it gives you more sustain and such. So it's actually really good with Cassiopeia. With her, how you play the champion. So I actually like that.
It'll be interesting to see if he goes the Ludens build or if he looks to go the tankier tier into Rod of Ages.
We'll have to see. I mean, I'm very interested to see this actually, and
man, it looks like I feel it might be a mistake to try to go for a late game build on the Cassiopeia this game though, because KWB's team easily has the late game advantage, so it might be better to go for the Ludens build and push for a better early game.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Time.
I
98% about to get into this game and start, and it'll be interesting to see how Nevermore and KWB play this out.
I want to see some Lee Sin plays. If he doesn't give me some plays, I'm going to be disappointed as a jungle main myself. I want to see those flash ults. Give me it, baby. Oh, man. But,
still interesting to see that Tulip to Smile has switched from mid lane to support. I'll be honest, I haven't been watching the IBSG scene as much as I should be. And I know he used to play mid all until last season. He was one of my biggest competitors when I used to play mid. So I haven't seen his performance in bot lane at all, but it'll be interesting to see that in the matchup as Nami versus Fresh. Basically all in the Thresh to hit a hook in that lane. They're both very squishy targets, and especially if he gets the Nami with a good hit, I think she's pretty much dead.
Yeah, I still would have loved to see a Braum Lucian because that combo is just really strong. But Thresh is really good with getting like picks and such things like that.
Looking like we're getting a 5-point from both teams to start off this match. Pretty traditional.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to do anything really rash here. It's just pretty safe. 2 junglers in the middle. Lee Sin's giving a nice dance along with Sejuani. Very good. Ooh, 5 gold. This game's over. Lucian
AWP already trying to hit that forfeit.
It's over.
Shy teenage girl not being shy enough to dodge any mystic shots in the early game.
If he gets this
looking to get more. Oh, gets another
5 more gold. That's unlucky. Oh, he's gonna hit him again. 5 more gold.
Oh, getting those mana flow procs. Nevermore getting some good damage off to start off the game. Only one winning in top lane.
He's using all his Qs to get that 15 gold, baby. It's tasty.
It'll be interesting to see how what the junglers' plans are going to be starting this early game. The pathing of both junglers is going to be a major effect on how this game goes. Right. Beckham looking to get more XP as he goes for the Krugs immediately after.
Yeah, they might both be trying to do a full clear. We'll see how this works. Lee Sin does usually go from red to Krugs, and then he goes over towards the bot lane to see if he could put a gank off or go straight to Scuttle, depending on the situation.
I think he'll probably be looking to get Scuttle, seeing as his bot lane and mid lane both have...
And Sejuani's already getting the Scuttle crab, so that's going to be going over to him, it looks like.
Yep.
Ooh, we got the Q off.
Got the Q off from Thresh coming in, getting some good damage off on the Ezreal. Sejuani's coming in along with Lee Sin, looking like this bot lane fight is going to get pretty intense right off the bat. Lee Sin and Sejuani beating up. Oh, teleport from the Shen to start it off. Heal coming in from the Ezreal. And, oh man, Nevermore coming off with a great double kill just to start this game.
He's going in.
Lee Sin looking to get frisky and continue on the Sejuani. Cassiopeia following up with him. The red buff making Sejuani's life very difficult as the flash
nice
just barely saves Sejuani, getting the pick off on the Lee Sin.
That's
and it looks like it's going to be a kill for Cassiopeia, making the red buff transition complete for Nevermore. Great 3-1 trade for Nevermore in that early game fight.
That was really aggressive from all sides here. I don't even know what to say. It looked like Ezreal got caught out, and then somehow so Shen TP changed the fight, and then Lee Sin came in at a good time. Sejuani didn't really do anything.
Well, it's because Lee Sin and Sejuani were fighting in the tri-bush that entire time.
Yeah, also I believe that Sejuani was only level 2 at the time, so that didn't help out at all. And Lee Sin's a better level 2 fighter than Sejuani would be.
Oh, great fight.
Ooh.
Early fight coming in between Shen and Fiora here. But it looks, the Q from Thresh picking off the Ezreal. The E coming out and great damage off on the Thresh. Lucian just not committing enough to that trade to be able to get the damage out. Preferring instead just to focus minions.
Yeah, the farm in the top lane, it's literally 3 times more for Fiora at the moment. But since Shen did get that first blood, he still has more gold. And the fight coming in the bot lane looks like a kill.
Oh, it looks like a kill for KWB coming out along with the roam from Rise. Cassiopeia just back in the mid lane and making this an easy 2-0 trade for Killer Whale Brigade. Yep. Looks like Lee Sin tried to get something frisky off with the Shen, but nothing seen as a failed gank comes out.
Very, very good job by the Thresh to initiate the fight with his hook. So Ezreal needs to sit behind minions or use his E right when he gets his hook, right when he gets hooked. But like he needs to use his E's better, to be honest. And it looks like gank coming in the top lane.
Gank coming in the top lane, looking like an easy kill for KWB. Fiora backing off, but Sejuani still continuing this on. Just need one more auto attack to get off the stun, but looking like nothing much is going to happen off that gank.
I think Nevermore, not Nevermore. I think the Sejuani should have like queued quick, like sooner than what he did, because it seemed like he just kind of waited, and by the time he did queue, he got kind of under tower, like close to the tower where they weren't even going to be able to get him. So if he was going to queue, he needed to do it
His
sooner.
Q was already down though, so it's not like he had a way to get them stuck in her tower.
Yeah. So, as we kind of predicted, top lane CS is going heavily in favor of Fiora for the moment. Kind of even in the bot lane now, as we can see, especially since the 1-1-1 both sides ADCs.
Heavy damage advantage by Lucian though, getting the BF sword comparative to Ezreal's tier.
Ooh.
So Ezreal and Nami have to be careful not to be hit by any hooks. Amazing damage, crazy damage coming out from the Lucian just from a Q, not even an auto. Fiora looking to get frisky, hitting those passive hits. Leeson coming over, getting the stun out. W coming out early from Shen.
Just happened everywhere. Holy crap.
Yeah.
My screen just literally went across the map like 3 times.
Yeah.
What's happening? And the Fiora did flash, which is a huge thing in the top lane. That should be a repeat game coming in the future. We'll see how that works out. They see
Sejuani bot lane taking out the Vision. Taking out all of Vision. Getting some nice free gold from wards. Cassiopeia looking to come down, but not quite committing to it just yet. Looking to stay and just get more CS. Rise getting blue buff from Sejuani.
Good E to get away from there. Make sure he doesn't get hit by the Q. There's a lot of damage coming in from the Q right now. Also, looks like they're going to try to get that.
Thresh just coming in, hitting the E, holding down on the Q just like you should.
Nice
having to use the heal just to barely save himself against the Ignite. Sejuani looking to come over and possibly make this into a tower dive. Bot lane does have the wave coming in, trying to spook her off, but I don't think that's going to happen as Cassiopeia is backed and Rise is just free to come bot lane as well.
Yeah, this Lucian's looking really scary right now. Also, looked like it was going to be a fight in top lane, but nope.
Early W coming out from the Fiora, trying to bait out the E, but not quite getting that timing.
Yeah, Lee Sin's towards the top side. Sejuani's going up there too. I think Lee Sin took the Krugs. Yeah, looks like it. Sejuani's going to the Krugs right now and going to realize that his Krugs ain't there.
Away Brigade looking to continue their Vision dominance. All of the bot side looking red for them. Again, that Lucian damage coming out, that early BF sword coming in very strong.
Mm-hmm. Also, the red buff has been up for a little bit for Wreckham. So he's just getting it right now, though.
A lot of champions all over the map hitting 6. Will be interesting to see if any team fights come out of everyone starting to get their major abilities come online.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Shen. See if he's going to do anything with his ult, and looks like fighting top lane.
Quick skirmish coming off top lane. Shen easily winning it because of the W. Fiora looking to get more passive procs to try to make it even. The early I always forget this item's name. Bramble Vest coming in to make trades more favorable to Shen, but Sejuani coming in to make stuff really frisky, and Shen just getting out free, using his taunt just to run away.
I don't think Sejuani used the full length of her Q. I think she shortened it up because that looked like it should have hit. If
Lee Sin sitting bot, looking to maybe make a lane gank. Sejuani coming up behind the Cassiopeia, probably looking to use to take advantage of her ult. The great fight coming out for Nevermore in the top lane. Cassiopeia being chased down, but not quite being able to get the kill mid lane. The Fiora ult coming out, not able to get all the stacks though, so the damage was pretty much minimized. Shen coming out very favorable in that fight.
Oh yeah, and Undead played that kind of well. I mean, he missed his E, but other than that, he he's tanky enough to where he can take the damage and also deal it at the same time, especially with Bramble Vest dealing a little bit of damage back whenever Fiora auto attacks, which is most of her abilities.
Comparative to the early game, Thresh has been trying to get out these death sentences. Only ability he's been able to hit is a Z. The culling coming out from Lucian, doing a lot of damage to Nami, almost killing her. The flash coming in just in time. The great wave coming out, and just barely killing Nami before Ezreal is able to get the kill. Shen looking like he ulted Lee Sin to get in on that fight. Oh, the stopping the TP. Oh, the flash E from Shen coming in. Rise almost killing Ezreal. And then Lee Sin coming in, the flash ult to make this an easy pick.
Oh, he moved out the way!
The shield coming in, just barely saving Blue Sentinel as he proves why C9's Blue Sentinels are superior to the others.
So I think Shen should have ulted the Nami to keep her alive. Also, I feel like Lee Sin shouldn't have moved out of the way whenever the Rise was using his abilities to try to kill the Shen. That basically doomed him. Also, looks like at least Sejuani's getting something out of all this mayhem right now and getting the Rift Herald, which is pretty good, especially this early into the game. Could go use that right away and get like an easy 360 gold.
Looks like the map is now evened out after those spicy fights coming in. Big wave coming in on bot lane. Thresh and Lucian coming in. The great timing on the E by 47. Finally learning his lesson and not making the death sentence. And even though the death sentences have now become a death paragraph, it doesn't matter with the good timing. Cassiopeia looking to tank the wave to try to continue getting CS, hoping to not get it under turret. Big wave coming out of Shen, but the team map from Fiora making it so she can just cleave through it whenever she chooses.
Yep. So Dragon is up. Full control from the red side.
Entire bot side of the map filled with red vision.
Yeah. Looks like a gank coming in mid lane. Lee Sin's gonna get this.
Missing the Cassiopeia, missing the ult, but still coming in. The ult coming in from Lee Sin, kicking Rise right out of his sphere and getting the kill. Fights coming in all over every lane. Ezreal barely missing Lucian as he pulls out the culling to get some damage off. Lee Sin looking to come top, trying to get that pick on the Fiora, but not quite managing it. As bot lane's now stuck under the turret low, Sejuani coming in, looking to pick off the Ezreal, sniping him with the ult, and easily getting the Q between her passive and Aftershock.
I think Ezreal was slightly too close to the wall when Sejuani was coming down, but you know what? That was really good by Sejuani to come down, get that easy kill.
Killer Relvigrade looking to get all of the everything off of this turret, maybe even looking to push the second. Probably looking instead to try to get the dragon as Lee Sin comes over, trying to contest it. Cassiopeia is free to move over if she chooses, but
Lucian being a little too aggressive there, trying to get some vision so that they can, secure the Drake, but it looks like they're not going to be able to get the Drake now. Unfortunate for KWB.
Still very much so a winning trade for KWB, being able to pick off the Ezreal and get bot lane turret, along with all of its plates, with the Rift Herald that Sejuani had gone earlier. A lot of turret on Shen's tower, but the Fiora not being able to go underneath, too scared of the taunt coming out from Shen.
Yeah, so KWB has been really good at
Rise coming in, trying to get the pick off on the Lee Sin. Sejuani coming up behind him, looking to at least guarantee that they still have vision in that bush, even though the pink ward is now taken out. Rise now looking to clear the waves mid as bot lane and Lee Sin try to contest the Sejuani taking his jungle. Cassiopeia looking to get frisky, but not quite in range to hit with the Q and get that movement speed boost. Getting a pick over on the Rise. The ult coming out just a bit too late from Undead Hero. I mean, not Undead Hero. Sorry, Buster Ice.
Oh yeah.
Lane
So
swap again to me.
even though Nevermore has been getting all these kills, KWB has been like having these more map pressure and also like getting these towers a lot easier. They won their lanes basically, and they're capitalizing on it. Like whenever Sejuani went down, got a kill onto Ezreal, used their
Bot lane
used their right away.
easily getting the top lane turret. As Shen had to back off, not being able to face that 2v1, even under the turret. Fiora now laning into Nami and Ezreal. Ezreal looking just to get CS. They don't want to be too frisky with Fiora because a mistimed Aqua Prism from Nami, and then that's a free stun off for Fiora. Cassiopeia trying to get aggressive onto the Rise, taking a lot of damage from the EQ. Now, bot lane looking to get the kill, and the culling coming in and easily killing the Shen. Sejuani pulling out the ult, picking off 47 as he tries to kite it out, not having enough damage to even really cause anything to make Sejuani want to back off, and an easily 1-0 trade for KWB as they try to get more pressure on that top lane turret. Nevermore's bot lane looking to transition over to contest it as Rectum tries to look to steal the dragon, but not quite looking to get in just yet, continually hitting it with those Qs. The damage from Sejuani not enough to quickly do the dragons, so Lee Sin might have a fairly high chance to take it. Oh, Sejuani just taking outside of his range and making an easy ocean drape for KWB.
Good job by Sejuani. Another fight in the bot lane.
Flash E coming out from the Thresh, just barely missing the Q. The ult coming in from Shen to save the Ezreal, and KWB's bot lane having to run away from that fight, losing a flash for no pick.
Man, there's been so much action so far. Just everybody's fighting. Just throw it all in. We're going EU style here. Just gonna try to win this game really quick. Let's see how this. It's just, I'm loving this game so far. It's definitely a fiesta, and I'm so excited. I want to see it. Like, Nevermore needs to do something to try to get back into this game. They're starting to fall behind. The carries of KWB are just starting to roll over Nevermore. Like, you gotta stop this. They have a triple threat right now. Fiora's not getting any kills, but she's getting like a ton of farm. Then you have Fiora, you have Rise, and Lucian, which are all doing a good bit of damage. Fiora's just trying to split push right now, so she's not really doing too much. Hasn't really taken a tower. That's all because of Lucian Thresh, and the Thresh has been playing pretty good, getting these picks off, and Lucian's been able to deal the damage behind it. Mid lane's been kind of even for the most part. Rise has been trying to get more, trying to go from like lane to lane, trying to do more. But Cassiopeia has been a little bit more safe. Fight here in the jungle. Ult coming in.
Oh, Lee Sin coming in on the Rise, getting the ward ult off, and looking like an easy pick for Nevermore. Now a fight coming off in the mid lane. Sejuani picking off Ezreal as Lee Sin tries to finish off Rise, just barely hitting with the Q. Booty Ice bringing out the booty damage against Sejuani, using the stopwatch to bait out damage from Sejuani, causing him to come back and almost lose that fight. Shen chasing after and getting the kill, and Fang's coming in and just finishing off Thresh. Now Lucian is alone to defend the turret against now 3 people as Shen looks to TP top lane to save the turret. Getting some damage off on the Fiora. The name escaped me for a second there. She looks to go for the bushes, maybe looking to come mid and get some pressure on with Lucian. Getting hit with Ezreal's ult, getting even more chip damage off. Not looking like Nevermore will be able to push in to get this turret as the death timers reach 0 for KWB.
Yeah. Also, the Conquerors coming in handy for the Cassiopeia there, giving her a little bit more health back with all those attacks, keeping her alive throughout the whole fight, and also she's dealt a ton of damage. She's good positioning, and also I thought Lee Sin was dead. I thought they lost the fight, but the stopwatch really kept it. Made him have enough time. Looks like Lee Sin was being a little bit too aggressive in mid lane though.
Lee Sin just easily getting picked off, trying to clear that wave, but just hidden by the Thrushy and just pulled to his death.
Yeah, Thresh has been really good with his Qs and Es and just knowing what to do with it. That's a good bit of damage.
Rip. Cassiopeia and Fiora fighting it out. Fiora looking to get all her stacks off, getting that healing and easily getting the kill. Cassiopeia not being able to deal with Fiora's lunge as she missed her W early in that fight.
Mm-hmm. Well, 600 bounty on Fiora right now. We'll see. That's pretty good right now. Little melee. Well, not melee. Little skirmish goes on top lane. Not really much. Just
KWP just totally dominating the map now as they take bot lane turret and all of Nevermore's jungle farm and looking like they're going to reset and probably try to look to put some pressure on that Baron now that they have all the vision control in Nevermore's topside jungle.
Navi's not going to be able to get it. That's unfortunate. One auto left. Well, so they're going to know whenever they go through that now, and that's unfortunate for Nevermore. But I feel like KWB needs to start focusing over there in that top side to make sure they can get the Baron, but they might also focus the Drake, which Drake is very good for going lane to lane, especially towards the blue side of the map, because the more they push, the closer, Nevermore would be to their, to defend their own side. So the quicker that
I think this is pretty much just a free dragon for blue side as they try to start a fight. Fiora now fighting the Shen, easily having the advantage as she waits out his W to start pumping out that damage. Lee Sin hitting the Q on Sejuani, probably not looking to go in as my game lags.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's been
Thresh fishing for those Qs, not quite being able to hit the Lee Sin. His movement speed just being a little too much as Lee Sin trades a favor and misses his own Q on the Lucian.
Yep, okay, so looks...
Top lane constantly skirmishing, looking like Fiora's coming out on top now with the higher damage and her passive making the trades into Shen generally favorable for her.
Mm-hmm, definitely. Ooh, that was close.
She just has to be really careful, trying to get her under turret with that taunt. Her taking a lot of damage with the continual turret shots. The Conqueror coming in just too late to do any healing. Still fishing for those Qs on Thresh, but not quite being able to hit Sejuani's big tail. Oh, Sejuani now getting the easy kill on the top lane. Almost dying. Sejuani doing a good job of taking that turret first. Hitting the hook on the Ezreal, making an almost easy puck. Ugh.
Tongue tie, huh?
It's hard when the fights are going all. It's hard when it goes from a top lane fight to a mid lane fight to other things.
It's been so nuts this game. This game has been so, fight here, fight there, all fight everywhere.
All right, looking like now they're trying to get that Baron vision set up with both only the inhibitor turrets up in the top lane and bot lane, making Nevermore have to be very aware of how those lanes are pushing in now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Also, very good wards by coming out of KWB right now. With just basically, they have the top side warded, and the mid and partial the bot side, and.
Bride's getting an easy pick on the Nami, just absolutely destroying her as she tries to take out Vision. Needs to bring her bodyguards next time to make that a bit less risky. Probably not expecting the Rise that deep in the jungle after KWB reset.
Ooh, they're going towards the Baron. Could they be going for it? They put the control down.
Fiora laning against the Ezreal. They're easily going to have the advantage in this. Picking off Rectum Rectum. Sejuani fishing for that E. The teleport from the Fiora coming in, hitting it, getting ulted by the Shen, and a big team fight coming out in this middle lane.
Ooh, good trade kill. I'd say that's mostly worth it because of the shutdown gold coming in. But they did lose their jungler, so they could be going to bait the Baron, it seems like here.
Yeah, looking to wait till they try to get some vision. Oh, now they're starting the Baron using the damage from Lucian and Rise to just beat this baby down.
There's no smite either.
Nevermore not quite aware yet that they're doing the Baron, looking to fish on the edges, probably thinking they're doing it now, looking to contest it now. Thresh fishing for the hook. And I lagged out, so I can't tell what's going on.
Cassiopeia's not there.
Cassiopeia not there, making this a way easier fight for Nevermore, and as Shen went heavy deep, went too deep, now bursted down by Rise and Lucian. Rise using the ult to keep up on the enemy bot lane, Nami having to flash, but not being able to keep away from the Sejuani, as both Lucian and her focus are getting an easy pick with the heavy damage from Lucian. Thresh fishing for that hook in the Ezreal, just barely tickling the front of his front end, as
That was very good by KWB to basically take over the Baron area. Make it so that Nevermore did not know, well, could not see at least. But what Nevermore needed to do was get together and go there. But very good by KWB to get there, destroy it. They took that thing down so quick. They didn't even have a mountain drake. What's coming up next? Another cloud drake. They're gonna be super fast.
But looking to take even more advantage of their rotational nature. Nami once again trying to take out CS, looking like she might get picked off by Thresh and Sejuani. Not quite being able to get the rest out. Oh, Lee Sin queuing onto the Thresh, using the W to get away. Fiora setting in the behind this fight. Cassiopeia trying to join in, but just a second too late as she flashes in, tries to get the stun, doesn't stun anyone as she gets killed off by Fiora. Fiora getting a double kill of that fight as they look now to push bot, using Baron to their great advantage. Looking like this might be the end for Nevermore in this pretty telling match.
That was a lot of damage coming out. Oh, nope. Oh god. There's so much damage coming out.
Slightly behind me. Shy Teenage Girl looking to get the damage on the Ezreal, just barely not killing him as he eases into their fountain.
Ooh, barely missed a Q. Could they end here? I don't think they're going to try. I think they're just going to go and play safe, get another inhib, maybe.
I think they could have ended there, but I think they're just a bit too scared of that.
They're playing it safe. We don't need to do it right now. We have full control of the map. We're winning every team fight. We have all this damage. We just push mid lane, push top lane. We can easily just slowly win this game. They're doing the TL strategy. Don't make mistakes. Just slowly win it.
Yeah, and they certainly have the advantage, like I mentioned earlier, with scaling. Cassiopeia being really the only one that can keep up with the overall scaling of their team, but she just hasn't been in the position to carry this game, sadly.
Yeah, it's been kind of unfortunate in that situation. If Cassiopeia could have gotten to her, her spikes, like serious spikes, to be able to carry the game, and also not get, focused so hard in fights, I feel like she would have a lot better, Nevermore would have a lot better chance in general to win fights, but they don't have this massive front line. They have Shen, and that's it.
And Shen's more of a diver front line, so other than his ult, he's not looking really to stand around his teammates as much.
Yeah.
Rise getting a ton of damage on Ezreal, almost one-shotting him with one combo. Sejuani coming in to help the pick on the Shen, just barely getting hit by the death sentence as Rise finishes off the pick under the tower. The Aqua Prism making it look like he might die, but not even close as they
got Thresh himself.
Like turret. Fiora pushing in the top side now, looking to finish off getting that inhibitor. Her team rotating over with her. Sejuani just missing the ult on Lee Sin. Nevermore trying to get frisky, trying to start the fight, just barely dodging the death sentence from Thresh. The ult coming in from Cassiopeia, missing out on the Sejuani, getting a ton of damage on Sejuani as Fiora just sits on the side and finishes taking that inhibitor. Lucian getting the mid turret as Lincoln does a flash ult. Jesus, why do I keep getting behind? This is annoying.
I don't know. I think it's the client itself. It just kind of messes up. But that was a sick flash ult flash, but just not nearly enough damage to kill.
Yeah, I think with the heavy pick nature of their team, I don't think Ezreal is the best ADC to fit into that.
Yeah, Ezreal probably isn't the best. It's just I think they needed more all in. I feel like maybe Nami. They could have had like maybe different kind of support. I don't know which support would be best. I think Thresh would have been better, but like you can't pick Thresh whenever the other team picked it already. It's just kind of hard.
I think Morgana would have been a very good pick into this enemy team.
That's true. That would have been very good because then
but hindsight is always 2020, and I have no idea what To Live to Smile's champ pool is. That's one of the biggest things you have to take note of in any low elo tournaments. Is champ pools are a lot more restricted, and it's based on what people generally play versus just like what's necessarily good.
Yeah, definitely, and. The draft looked to be... Oh, he stopped it. I don't know if he really needs a back right there. I think at that point, you're quicker running to the base?
Not quite. It's about the same speed.
It's close.
Shen has a low base movement speed, so...
Okay, cool. Well, so... like I was saying before, I feel like KWB had the better draft. And it kind of... pushed him because they started winning lane and they just started snowballing. Looks like they're going for Baron again.
Sejuani and Ryze going for the Baron as Thresh, Lucian, and Fiora just looking to continually get the pressure on, make them have to clear the minions deeper in their base.
Nevermore had no idea. This is the end of the game right here, it seems.
End of the game. Double supers coming in along with Baron buff, looking like an easy win for KWB. Proving that the 4-2 to the 1-4 is a pretty easy decision right off the bat.
Looks like it's gonna be 5-2 now.
One last fight coming out. Sejuani just barely missing the ult on the Ezreal. Lucian almost one-shotting him. The wave coming out from Nami trying to push off the aggression. Ryze almost one-shotting the Shen, now finally finishing off that kill as they bug them underneath the Nexus as they continually try to get the Nexus and finally win out this game. I think they could have won that game a lot sooner. I feel they kind of left Nevermore to unnecessarily suffer.
I feel like they were just playing it super safe, just like, Team Liquid would do. Just like, oh, we don't have to push to win now, because if we get ace, then we put them back in the game, blah, blah, blah. So I guess they just didn't want to give them the chance to do it. So, like, okay, we'll go top lane, get this, and then we'll go Baron. Or not Baron, because they already had it. But, like, they're just slowly, methodically going to win the game. That's kind of how they played it. They were like, okay, we just do this, then this, then this, and we, don't brute force anything. Just, we're going to win late game anyway. And that's kind of how they played. And, the results still proved to be a victory. But let's check a little bit of advanced things here. Most damage coming in actually from Ryze, which is not what I expected. I thought it was going to be Lucian dealing the most damage, but by far it was Ryze dealing a good portion of it, a little over 26,000 damage.
I think that comes in from how active Ryze was on the map overall, constantly looking for picks and constantly looking to get DPS out. Nonetheless, the slugfest that mid tends to be in general.
Definitely, and also with the severe lack of damage coming in from the Cassiopeia, she did deal the fourth most in the game, but being Cassiopeia, you need to deal more than that. You need to deal a ton of damage on the front line. But the problem lies is that you had your tank was a diving tank, and it wasn't a tank that was just going to be able to sit there forever. It wasn't a Sejuani or a Scion or some kind of tank like that, and that's kind of the problem when you have a single tank that is more of a dive tank. So hopefully we can like maybe in the future they can have like more of a tank, to help them in that comp.
Now, as
So,
we're transitioning to the next game, we see Third World Democracy versus Classic Esports in our GPCS league. Third World Democracy has been struggling a bit with a 1-4 record coming as of now, but Classic Esports is almost evenly matched with them, being the lowest in the tier list right now, being 10th with a 1-5 score. I think this will be a very interesting match, seeing the two low tier teams against each other, comparative to last match of basically the top three versus the top lowest.
yep. We'll have to see how that game goes. I'm very excited. I assume we're going to be taking a break now until the game starts. Is that right? Okay, cool. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you guys in the next game. Hello everyone, welcome back to Duo Esports. This is your caster, Ralph Saints, with your co-caster, Acarcion. We are doing a lot better now. It seems like my mess-ups have been fixed. Welcome back with another great game coming up. We have, oh shoot, who do we have again? 3World Democracy versus Classic Esports. Retro. Classic Esports Retro. My bad. Should be a very good game. Bottom of the standings, two teams fighting for playoffs later on, hopefully to get to the playoffs. I'm ready to see this game. We have a couple of bands already coming out. Sibber, Rush coming out, which is very good combo, by the way. I love that.
Taking out the Kindred in the jungle from CK, and the Vayne coming out to make it a very ADC biased band from 3World.
They're probably just they probably see SCOM. Probably SCOM might be one of the stronger players on the team, and they just don't want to face it. Or that would make a lot of sense. They just don't want to face the bot lane. That might be what they go through usually to carry. And from the ban phase, that seems to be what it's about.
Nunu coming out as a very early pick, probably looking to put it into the jungle.
Yeah, definitely. I'm almost 100% that that's a jungler right there. Very good jungler right now. Very tanky. Good CC.
Yasuo pick coming out early, probably looking to put that into either the top or mid lane.
Or ADC.
Very possible. It would be a pretty interesting flex.
Ooh, not an ADC. Well, I've been shut down right away.
Looking like we'll get 2 Lucian games in a row from the red side, as we look to see what 3World Democracy will pick into this very aggressive AD focus on the side of Classic Esports. Pulling out another Shen, looking to play more defensive. 2 big tanks coming right off the start. Top and jungle picked off, and picking off the mid, leaving the bot lane picks to the second round.
That's not like a huge amount of damage coming with the Lissandra, Shen, and Nunu. I mean, that's very tanky, especially since Lissandra
hurts a lot.
Ooh, Rek'Sai! What? We get to see it! I'm excited! The new Rek'Sai OP. Let's go! Look at all this damage. Rek'Sai coming in with Yasuo, that little combo coming in there. Lucian, extra damage. This is gonna be nasty. I'm excited.
One thing I have to mention is do not underestimate the Lissandra damage.
Well,
once she gets rolling, she hurts.
Yeah, I know she does a good bit of damage, like more towards later game though. Earlier game, she doesn't do as much damage.
She's mid game carry.
I mean
mid game carry.
I mean later. I meant later into the game, meaning like after the beginning. That's what I meant to say. My bad.
Yasuo into Lissandra is a fairly rough lane. Classic Esports taking a big risk in not banning it that early game draft. Yasuo going to have to be either top lane or looking to play very carefully mid lane, as Classic Esports goes into their first pick, easily choosing that Braum to go with the Lucian. Pulling up the first tank as well. Ooh, getting real spicy on the side of 3World. 3World? Yeah, that's 3World.
I'm liking the draft so far with the Yasuo, Lucian, Rek'Sai, Braum. It's super aggressive.
No. Maybe looking for the...
I don't know what they want.
Different ADCs. Finally deciding on the Jinx. That will provide them a great amount of DPS with that front line.
Yeah,
looking to be a more... I think so far that 3World is very much so winning this draft. Classic Esports basically playing an early game or bust comp right now.
Yeah, it's basically they're going to carry hard or lose hard. That's kind of how.
Spicy Aurelian
top. It's Lissandra top.
Holy, now making it so Yasuo has almost no options on where to be. The mid lane pick coming in from Pop's Fried Cook with possibly the Caston. to lane against the Aurelian Soul. 3World Democracy has all of the advantage with this draft, IMO, with being able to. Is that the Shen jungle? That
I don't
is.
know. I think Cassidon beats Aurelion Soul
Oh no, it's the
after
Shen.
level 6, especially since he has cleanse, which is going to help him a lot. Aurelion Soul looks to be taking TP, not going to help him a lot in lane, except for like getting back in lane if he gets pushed out of it. But I feel like pre-level 6, Aurelion Soul is going to do just fine. Post-level 6, it depends. I feel like Rek'Sai is going to be camping that lane. Rek'Sai could definitely kill.
Rek'Sai will be looking to have to get pressure into all of the lanes, being heavily early game focused. Has the Rek'Sai change come through yet, or not?
A Rek'Sai change, I believe, has gone through, and that's why people are playing it more. I think their win rate, it's a 9.4 patch, so yes, it has.
Alrighty, and now we're waiting on the game to start. Ralph, what do you think of this draft? Who do you think wins?
I love it. I love everything about this draft from both sides. I love the great front lane tanks coming in from 3WD, but Classic. I just love their all in approach, and they're just like, we're gonna go all in. If we're gonna win hard or lose hard. I don't know who necessarily won. It just depends on how hard Classic wins the game. Wins early game. If it goes even, 3WD should win. Because just Jinx's damage, like late game, is just going to be so hard to face. But there is it's. I think 3WD has a better team comp though.
I think the biggest problem with classic esports is it feels very solo queue.
Yeah,
Basically, like everybody's basically deciding I want to carry this game between the Yasuo, Rek'Sai, Cast, and Lucian.
Mhm.
Where with especially with the Shen support and the Nunu jungle coming in, they're basically just they're backing off and being like, Lysandra and Shen will help us get the picks. Nunu will be a big threat the entire fight, and Aurelion Sol and Jinx will just dominate the damage in the background.
I just feel like anytime Classic is going to try to get into a fight, Lissandra's just going to ult the main one, and just they're out of the fight for like a few seconds. And a few seconds is a long time whenever you have that Jinx in the back line. So we'll have to see.
I think Classic Esports will very much so win the skirmish game, though. They're going to be looking for short and intense fights constantly, looking to win advantage trades of either 3v2 negative to 3World Democracy's side, looking to take advantage of Rek'Sai and Caston's mobility to constantly put pressure on the map. Once the mid game hits, my voice almost died there.
Yeah, so I feel like Rek'Sai. I feel like which one's the best lane to gank for him? I feel like mid lane.
Mid lane's
like after level 6.
Mid lane will be the easiest to gank, but Lysandra is also fairly squishy early game, and especially if she uses any of her, she uses her E or W in any trades against Yasuo, she puts a big target on her back, so she has to be very careful with what spells she has to throw out, especially if she knows Rek'Sai is in that top side.
Yeah. If Lysandra uses her E for aggressively, then Rek'Sai can get an easy gank off. But if I feel like if she still has her E, it's going to be really hard to gank her. I do think the focus should be on the bot side for the most part, because you get that Lucian fed, and just keep Jinx down. That's the main thing. I think if you keep Jinx down, you can win the fights.
I think that's the biggest weakness in 3World Democracy's draft. The bot lane matchup is very favorable to Classic Esports, and if they can get the momentum rolling, we can see what happened with that Lucian last game. Get him on a ton of gold, get him super far ahead, and the team can't even compete against the DPS versus DPS.
Yeah, I do like the Shen pick though, because it makes total sense. It also with Brahm's passive, Shen can just stop that with his W, is it? No, or his E. Which one is that? The one that stops auto attacks. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and as Twitch chat pointed out, one advantage Caston has into Aurelion Soul is the minute Aurelion Soul tries to channel that W, he can just Q him to cancel it.
That's true. That's definitely true. Well, I am pretty excited to see how this will work. I do think the mid lane goes over to Classic. I think the jungler is better in Classic, but I feel like top and like early game, we're just gonna say that Classic wins, but mid and late game, I think it goes over to 3WD.
All right, and with a momentary pause from me, it looks like we're starting off this mid game. Will be interesting to see what both teams are looking. I think
Invade?
Classic Esports probably looking for that invade coming off the start. They're all grouping up, probably looking to go towards that bots. Loop
right
through
there.
loop through the river, go up and down through the bot side. To try to get it.
Shen knows. Shen's the best spot. Okay,
He's really behind. Need to fix it. Shen getting off for free, just eating over that wall. Classic Esports still going through the jungle, getting that ward to see when Nunu finishes in that red. Nunu deep into Classic Esports side. Classic Esports having no clue. Nunu expecting to do a red buff trade, but not quite going to happen as he. I think Nunu will still look to take the red though.
Yeah, so Nunu could have. That's a really good ward by Nunu, by the way. So it did, like, if he doesn't see it soon, that means that Rek'Sai is going to do a full clear onto the bot side, or is just looking to gank in the bot side. Also, if they do see him, they're like, okay, he's here. Watch out top and mid, and then bot lane has the ability to do whatever they want. Very interested to see how this is going to go. Also, especially with the Nunu starting his blue buff, that means he can go towards the bot side and have that advantage in the bot side as it is.
Yep, and Twitch chat coming in clutch to show that interaction between the Caston and Aurelion Soul, now heavily making me believe that this is going to be an easy lane for Caston.
So pre-level 6, like I said, it's going to be really hard just for Caston to farm. Like, even post-level 6, like, Caston's going to need to, like, just try to get trades in. So, like, Nunu should be there for much of the time to make sure.
Ringside staying close to this Aurelion Soul, probably looking to gank after he finishes taking the. Oh, yep, looking for the invade. Probably expecting Nunu to vertical jungle, but not quite happening as Rek'Sai is now going to win this trade, taking both his own blue and Grom. Oh,
they know.
They know. Aurelion Soul now contesting this red, smiting it to get rid of it. Fighting the Aurelion Soul, not seeing the Nunu coming in. Big damage coming out. First blood for the Rek'Sai, as now Classic Esports bot lane comes in to make it an easy 2-0 pick.
Good collapse coming in from Classic. Also, it seemed like at first 3WD was going
now Shen getting a decent pick off on to the Lucian. Trying to get some damage out, but Braum coming in clutch to start blocking the Jinx rockets as the game looks to start to even out again.
So that was very good by Rek'Sai to like turn the fight into his favor, and very good flash to make sure to kill off the Aurelion Soul. I do think that's going to push him like further into the lead in jungling because look, he has 24 farm technically, and what Nunu has 8. Nunu's supposed to be like this really good farming champion, and he just hasn't done much because he went. What did he do? He went from his blue to the scuttle and straight over to his red, which he didn't get, and he died along with his mid laner, keeping the Rek'Sai far in the lead with over 2 times the farm than as he has right now. This could be very scary.
Aurelion Soul TPing into the middle of mid lane as the bot lane starts to gather up some momentum with larger wave. Shen probably looking to potentially get frisky now that they have wave advantage. Aurelion Soul getting some good pick onto the Caston, but the matchup being shown quite well with the Caston just waiting out those Qs till the W's being cast.
Yep. He's doing a pretty good job with that. He's starting to get to the point where he's just not as scared. He can't really do much because he doesn't have his ult. He's just going to keep getting slightly poked, just going to use his Q to stop his W, so he can't get poked as hard. So,
And
good job by
Casman has no problem CSing under turret, so he's fine being constantly pushed in.
Oh yeah, he's totally fine with it. He's keeping up with farm.
Yasuo being really aggressive, constantly keeping Lissandra under her tower. Nunu not quite looking for a gank topside as they look to now contest the bot lane vision.
Nunu's in a bad spot.
3World Democracy has
You get your bot lane.
very much so the... Nope, now a good engage happening mid lane and bot lane. Slightly behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He almost gets a kill off with the Knight going.
Oh, next side coming in, looking to get the pick on the Jinx. Braum just barely missing the Q. Jinx having to flash as Nunu comes in, and I lag out. Shen getting a good double stun off. Rek'Sai just barely killing Shen before he goes down. Aurelion Sol now here. Rek'Sai looking to go back onto the Jinx, dying for it, and Aurelion Sol looking like he'll get 2 picks, one on the Braum, now one on the Lucian, now on the Braum. Braum trying to desperately get his passive off beforehand, and just barely surviving as Nunu misses a couple so well.
That was devastating. Very good job by Nunu and Aurelion Sol to go to the bot lane to react to this. They knew that the whole time that with the engage coming in from Shen and then the collapse coming in from Classic, and they were like, okay, we gotta get there quick, and they came in at a great time to be able to, shut them down and be able to, especially get the kill on Rek'Sai, which is great.
Constant fighting happening on the top side as Yasuo trying desperately to get as much damage as possible onto Lissandra, but the Aftershock and her W coming in as a great combination. Rek'Sai now fighting the Shen in 3rd World Democracy's jungle. Aurelion Sol coming over, heavily aggressive. Rek'Sai trying to get out, getting a bit of more damage off on the Shen with her Q, and getting out pretty much scot-free, doing a lot of damage to Shen. Shen's probably going to have to back, along with Jinx, allowing 3rd World Classic Esports bot lane freedom to push as quickly.
There's the buff coming in, man. Oh, man, that was just nasty. That true damage coming in. Getting that full stacks, using his E. Oh, man, that's nasty. That's scary at the same time, too.
This game has been very back and forth so far. I have no idea who is the clear winner at this point.
I mean, at the moment,
very
Classic
even
is over 1,000 gold, 1,700 currently. Than 3WD has. So 3WD needs to try to keep in the game in gold, but where's the gold all going to?
Castlin being able to just totally dominate mid lane, just being able to constantly push Aurelion Sol off CS. Little skirmish coming off in the bot lane as Lucian chases after the Shen, getting a stun off, but Shen getting the stun just before. Nunu coming over, Braum trying to protect Lucian as they chase him down, getting a free kill on him as they continue to absolutely pulverize through Braum's defenses and easily get a 2-0. The rotations from 3rd World Democracy very much so turning the pace of this game around. 3rd World is still 2k gold down, mainly through CS, but looking like they'll catch up if they continue to keep up this rotation game. Oh, yes, well, ulting onto the Lissandra. Holy.
That was phenomenal play by Yasuo. Gets that ult on, ignites, uses E to get in, and then flashes right out, after getting the kill, getting hit by the tower one additional time and barely living. Great job by Yasuo.
Getting slightly behind, and I apologize for that.
I have no idea in the mid lane. Oh, giving the kill over to Rek'Sai.
Nunu trying to contest it, but getting in too frisky and dying as well. As the bot lane now is fighting it out. Constant fights happening. Lucian very intelligibly using his E to both stay out of the turret range and be able to get the pick on to the Shen.
Are they going to first tower? Oh, no, they're not. Lissandra's coming over. But they're going to get another on this.
Yeah, now Classic Esports getting a huge CS lead against Third World Democracy. The pace very much so bouncing between the two teams as the 4v2s are basically deciding every fight.
It's at a 4,000 gold lead for Classic almost 10 minutes into the game. Under 10 minutes into the game with 4,000 gold.
As mentioned previously, as long as Classic Esports keeps it up to these low skirmishes, constantly forcing 1v1 and 2v2 scenarios, I think they can easily keep up this pace and win this game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with Caston, he gets his level 6, he gets a kill, and then he's starting to win the lane now. As you can see, he's just using his ult, getting inside of his Railing Soul's passive. He can't do anything. He can get a stun off, but then he has to walk away because he can't deal the damage.
Yasuo constantly aggressing onto the Lissandra, pushing her out of lane, not allowing her any chance to chill out. And Lissandra desperately trying to clear waves as she's trying to keep up in CS.
Yeah.
Yasuo just having total control of that lane.
Yasuo's been playing really good this game so far. Just like he's starting to get to a point where he's comfortable. He's winning lane against Lissandra, but with how aggressive Yasuo is being, I feel like Nuno should be going towards the top side and get.
The problem is Nuno's very far behind, being
he is.
Oh my god! Good 2 levels down on Rek'Sai. That early game very much so dooming Nunu to just have to farm and counter gank.
He's almost 2,000 gold behind. It looks like he's probably going to get killed here by Cassit. Oh, maybe not.
Nope, the healing coming in, but the rotation from Classic Esports just barely not dodging out of it as the top lane continues to skirmish. Caston skirting the edge, using the ult to get out of range, as now Classic Esports is looking to aggress onto the Dragon, as now it's looking like it'll be a 4v4 fisticuffs into the bot lane. Rek'Sai going over the wall to take out the blast cone, prevent Nunu from coming over. Nunu going to have to use Nunu's flashes down, so he can't even look to flash Q Smite, and an easy Earth Drake for Classic Esports, taking great advantage.
Great job by Rek'Sai going over the wall to get rid of the plant. Is he going to ult? He's going to get this Lissandra. Easy kill going in for Yasuo. Ignite going down as well, though.
Slightly behind these fights. Lucian ulting, trying to get the Shen. Shen's trying to ult away, desperately trying to get out of that fight, but still going down to the Lucian's heavy DPS. Jinx trying to pressure down on the Braum, but the Braum coming in and easily preventing the damage. Jinx just trying to poke and clear that wave, but Rek'Sai sitting in, getting the easy pick onto the Nunu as Nunu pulls out the ult, but Rek'Sai dodges it with the ult, still taking the damage because of the after bite. Maybe looking for the tower dive between the Rek'Sai, Braum, and Lucian, looking like it'll be an easy pick from Jinx as well, and able to probably get the bot lane turret with the next wave of minions.
That was a good job by Rek'Sai, knowing where he needs to be, being able to pick off the Nunu, use his ult to escape the damage coming in from Jinx, killing the Nunu, and going into a good position to be able to go take out the retreating Jinx for her first death. Good job by
Braum looking to back off a bit early from that bot lane turret, probably scared of the Shen coming in. Lissandra looking to get some damage off from the turret now that Yasuo's back. Getting one of the plates, and now it looks like the map has evened out again as Nunu tries to get Rift Herald sneakily underneath Classic Esports' lack of vision.
Yep. So it's about a 6k gold lead currently in favor of Classic. Classic's playing a really good job doing in their early game. This is what they need to do to stay in this game.
Yasuo with the static shiv looking to immediately aggress onto Lissandra, desperately running away with the Hex Tech, having to use her ult early just to save herself and dodge the ult. The Yasuo Q just barely whiffing. Good news for Lissandra, or else she would have just been dead.
Yes. So this Yasuo is playing so aggressive, and it's so much fun to watch. He's playing it really well too. Also,
Yasuo aggressing onto the Nunu as he tries to get as he desperately gets the Rift Herald, and Rek'Sai comes in. Lissandra looking to maybe get a bit sneaky, but doesn't go in as it's an easy pick for Classic Esports.
That's a 3k gold lead over to Rek'Sai. Just Rek'Sai against Nunu. That's massive. Look at the farm differential and the map pressure that Rek'Sai has been creating. And fight coming in the bot lane, looks like.
Getting a ton of damage on the Jinx right away. The Shen W coming in, trying to save Jinx, but just not enough as...
no.
as the kill comes in on both the Jinx and the top lane. Brilliant Soul desperately cleaning the wave, hoping to not get tower-dived as well. The Rek'Sai's GA making her just be able to be way more aggressive than she was at the start, as Caston freely gets the blue from Rek'Sai's jungle. Rom coming in, trying to ward, gets peeked out by the Nunu. Nunu's snare just barely missing. The fight's happening all over the map.
Flash coming in from Aurelion Soul, just so he won't die. Looks like they're gonna fight over this this buff here.
Yep, as I continue to lag out and not be able to tell what's going on in these fights.
Okay, so
easy red for Lucian, as the Classic Esports now has a 10.2k gold lead.
Oh god,
with heavy.
nasty.
With the only objective 3rd World has over them being Rift Herald, which I don't think they'll be able to
mid
use.
lane.
Mike off in the mid lane, Rek'Sai coming in for the tower dive with the Caston, Nunu having to flash away, Shen aggressing on, trying to get the flash E, just barely whiffing, dying to the Lucian's damage as Rek'Sai looks to face tank the Aurelion Soul, just barely not unburrowing.
That was unfortunate. Shen missed the taunt flash, not be able to get onto the carries. But also, I wanted to say something about the Rek'Sai ult. They did change it to the point where you can't exactly flash away from it.
Yeah, it takes like a pretty significant distance.
It takes like a TP. Like it's now at 1,000 range to be able to get away from it. It used to be 400.
So pretty much like Ezreal is the only one that has a chance with flashy. Probably.
Maybe.
1,000 units is only like the just over the width of the lane, is it not?
Is it? I'm not exactly sure, but still.
If I remember correctly. I can't remember the distances now. Right, lane swap coming in from Classic Esports, sending the Yasuo bot lane to put pressure on that bot lane turret, continuing to feed gold into him, sitting at 138 CS and a 900 gold bounty, and sitting on 6,845 gold, along with Caston and Lucian, fed off their mind as they look to easily pick off this Infernal Drake.
Methodical, very good, just making sure they get this. They almost got a pick there. They made sure they can get that Drake. They have a couple of wards. They don't have enough wards. It's not a lot of wards on the map, to be honest. 3WD is actually doing better in the most part in warding. I think that's mostly because of them taking out a few wards in the bot side jungle, though.
Yeah, I have to fully agree that 3WD is a lot better at warding, but Classic Esports has just been running down this game that they just have to basically play, I don't need wards, if you appear in my face, I just kill you.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is right now.
Right. Rek'Sai easily pulling off the ult for Yasuo, just taking the turret, doesn't have to worry. The GA coming in, Yasuo having to flash out from underneath, Aurelion Soul just barely whiffing the Q, and Rek'Sai finally getting shut down. Yep. The Ignite was Shen's Ignite. Nunu trying to use the Rift Herald top lane, Caston just saying no bueno and taking it out. Oh, Shen pulling Braum underneath the tower. The W coming in to save him from the damage as Braum desperately tries to get away. Shen dying to Lucian and Yasuo. The culling coming out to get the damage off on Aurelion Soul as the fight slowly peters out.
I got a question. Does Windwall stop Aurelion Soul's passive?
Passive? No.
Okay. Because
it only stops projectiles. I'm pretty sure the only projectile it can stop is his Q.
Okay. Yeah, because I know his ult, he can't.
Yeah, because it's like Xerath Q, basically.
Yeah. It's like a laser, and you can't stop lasers.
Yeah.
But,
really, if you think about it, Aurelion Soul's ult is just a buffed Xerath Q.
Yeah. But,
oh, maybe looking to get a bit first on the solution.
A Vel'Koz ult that is just really quick. And doesn't deal as much damage.
Oh, really? Soul's ult hurts. Classic Esports looking to just constantly push down, constantly putting on the pressure, playing their comp very well as it looks like Rek'Sai is trying to get the pressure on Nunu, ulting in and easily getting the kill. Aurelion Soul coming in from behind, looking
Oh,
pick
no.
up the Rek'Sai, getting some good damage out. As Jinx and Shen unfortunately get picked off as they come over, getting blasted apart by the Caston. Caston finally reaching his stride as he's now level 13, pulling up a level 2 ult and maxed most likely Q and E. Can you
I'm
check?
gonna go back and look to see how that happened.
Can you check ability levels in the thing?
Not exactly sure. Like, if you click on them, I think so, yeah, because it has the number under them, so it shows them how much they upgrade the ability.
Nice. Yeah, maxing Q and W action.
Oh. Oh, no! So I just watched, so Jinx and Shen were actually at a safe spot, and they were actually going towards the base, and they rerouted into death. That was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But very good by Classic to be able to take advantage of that.
Oh, Rek'Sai coming in to try to help Caston, but Caston just making that pick on his own, being like, I don't need you.
Soul, what? Oh no, that was nasty. Caston is just too fed right now for Aurelion Soul.
I think all of Classic Esports had almost a 20k gold lead, just short 5k gold.
It's so massive right now. I feel like Braum would be able to beat Lissandra at this point.
Pretty much. Lissandra heavily behind him.
And
as a
Nuno
kill
still has
participation.
under 80 farm. Like, he has 71 farm right now. He's just been methodically destroyed in the jungle. It was a team job for Classic getting ahead in the game. But like, what brought them to this point? Rek'Sai being so like aggressive and so
They knew their comp was do or die, and they decided to do instead of die.
Yep, and boy did they do it. They played it really well together. Very good job by the Rek'Sai to get ahead in the early game. Starting like 6-1 and 2, and just blasting his way to like winning the game. Yasuo though, 100%. That was him winning his lane. I don't even think there was a gank in the top lane. It was just a 1v1.
Pretty much. The ganks didn't come in until when more people started coming into the lane. At that point, Yasuo had far won that lane, already being 3 kills at that point.
Yeah, getting solo kills almost every time.
Second Infernal Drake going over to Classic Esports, furthering their damage lead into 3World Democracy. Both Jinx, Aurelion Sol, and Lissandra desperately trying to farm. Nuno trying to get back into this game, but just at both a 2 level and huge gold deficit to Rek'Sai. Sitting 5k gold, almost 5k gold less than Rek'Sai. Oh, I just watched that. I think I'm behind.
That hurts. Engage going in the mid lane.
Rommel just barely not being able to stop the Aurelion Soul from getting away. Caston just freely getting that inhibitor. 4 people coming to get the Caston, but I don't think Caston even has to be scared of the 4 people. Lissandra all being the only thing scary in that fight. Classic Esports looking to just pressure onto the Baron as Caston plays around in 3World Democracy's faces.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to start coming into the last round of this game. This Baron push, I think, will be an easy win for Classic Esports.
Yeah, 3WD didn't even try to go that way. They couldn't even get out of their base. Caston's just sitting around there. They knew if they left base, that was their inhibitor. I think they also didn't really know for sure that they were going to Baron. Maybe they did. They did have a ward over there.
Let's note that 2 of Classic Esports players haven't even died this match, being Caston and Yasuo, coming in with 3,000 gold bounties.
I'm sorry, but Yasuo not dying? Wait, Yasuo not dying? That's crazy. That's crazy talk. He has to die. It's a Yasuo player. He's supposed to int.
Supposed to hit that 17 death power spike, but looks like he's deciding instead to do the 50 CS, the 70 CS over and 5 kills to 0 deaths.
Also, Yasuo almost having 10 CS per minute. Really good. Good job by him getting to that point where he's...
Great rotation from Classic Esports. Even though Classic Esports haven't been the best in keeping
vision. I think their rotational game and taking advantage of knowing where the enemy team is, even with words, has been absolutely excellent this game.
Very, and Yasuo's just pushing into the top lane, and the rest of the team's going to the bot side with the inhibitor, and Yasuo can 1v1 Lissandra. It looks like they're just going to give up the inhibitor, probably go towards mid lane right now.
Yep, looking to just take out all those turrets, wait for a couple super minions to come in, and then they just pull over their not their player base.
I'm liking the teamwork right now from Classic. Oh, Yasuo ain't
You knew
scared.
it. Yasuo ain't scared. He can freaking 1v5 at this point, easily killing out the Nunu, as I like it. Probably looking to go on to the Lissandra and a Brilliant Soul.
They lose in mid lane. The fight's coming in. Looks like they're going to get the Aurelion Soul.
Easy pick, dodges the ult with the flash. Lissandra ulting herself, desperately trying to survive that fight as it's easy. Almost ace as Cast to get frisky on the Jinx, but not quite able to.
Oh, that was nasty.
And Classic Esports coming in with an easy 22 kill lead. Not a single turret seen on Third World Democracy, and making
one turret.
it a very easy.
Top turret. They have one turret left.
No, I was meaning Third World hadn't taken turret.
Oh, sorry. Did not hear that. Right way.
That game looked pretty even coming off the start, but then Classic Esports just showed the strength of their do or die comp. I still believe that Third World won the draft, but I think the player ability came in very strongly from Classic Esports, showing that even though Third World had the stronger comp, they Classic Esports better demonstrated how individual player skill and rotations make hold.
Yeah. Also, I think Aurelion Soul wasn't the best. Even Aurelion Soul into Yasuo isn't a great matchup in itself. I feel like they should have been a safer pick in a way, like Oriana or something like that. Just something safe. I don't know his champion pool, but I just know a safer pick would have been nicer for them, and maybe a little bit better into a champion like Cassidy. But Cassidy was picked last, to be honest, which you can't exactly say they're going to play Cassidy.
Yeah, I think Third World Democracy put too much into trying Classic Esports, where Classic Esports came in. I don't think they really cared what picks that Third World came in. We're going to pick these strong picks. Rek'Sai with her recent changes, Yasuo because we trust our top laner to great effect, and Lucian Braum just coming in to absolutely dominate that lane. Right? I think the only pick that might have changed on Aston. The minute the Aurelion Soul was picked, it was just Cassidy, easy.
Yeah, I mean that's a easy pick, to be honest. Cassidy is just really strong into Aurelion Soul, like I was saying. Pre-level 6, it's Aurelion Soul is going to win pre-level 6, but after level 6, it was just 100% Cassidy. As you can see, even the damage charts, you showed Cassidy having the most damage in the game at this point, which is really, really devastating. There was 3 champions on Classic's side, 3 players that had more damage than the highest damage on the other side than 3WD had, which was Jinx.
Pretty much. Jinx and Lissandra, the only one really upset. Oh my god.
So nobody awarded Mel, by the way.
Yeah.
Except for Braum, who did a really good job. I'm not gonna lie.
Braum was constantly Braum at the point was just so tanky. He was able to just go into the enemy jungle, try to clear wards, and then if anything got frisky, he could just sit back, throw up his E, and just wait for his team to come up to him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right, and I think that basically describes a good chunk of how Classic Esports won that game. They had Rek'Sai and Braum just able to play stupid dumb deep into the enemy territory, and then take advantage of Third World Democracy's slower rotations comparatively.
Yeah. Also,
I think
I was just looking at the gold. So you know what's bad? When the Braum has almost as much gold as the ADC on the other team, which is the one that had the most gold on their team.
Third World was just absolutely stripped that entire game, easily making Classic Esports come out with a strong game.
Well, that was definitely a very good game. Guess we're going to be setting up pretty soon for the next one. It won't be me or Carcion casting, I believe, for that one.
It will be my good friend Voss and
Lord Clue.
coming in to cast the next game. Oh, it's Prophet, actually.
Not bad. This lied to me.
Thank you very much for your time, Twitch chat, and I will probably be talking to you all tomorrow. Enjoy the next match, and have a wonderful night.
Have a blessed day, and make sure you watch the rest of the games. If you don't, I'm gonna be in your dreams.
But then people won't watch it. They want you in their dreams.
Oh shit! I'm not gonna be in your dreams. You guys have a great night. Peace.
At number 5, Kid of Fire pulls off a triple kill to secure his team's early lead.
Looks like Darks are going to look to engage on this, and Retr is going to completely miss that hook by a huge mile, but that's all coming out from the Ash, and she's doing the deeds. She's got the kill onto the Ash, but Diana comes in with a counter gank, but Ash is still going hard onto the recover. She's able to get knocked back from Diana, but still picks up the kill. Tremendous.
Coming in for number 4, Active Rush Academy used their long-range skill shots to help finish off Schlid.
Now, though, it doesn't look like this. ADC Omega getting caught up here. There's Starstro again to continue this fight, but starts to run away. ADC Omega, well, it's just too far ahead at this point to duel. Even 2v1 would have died there. Oh god, here it goes. Great little combination there by Well Asian and AER. The two.
At number 3 is AOL's Ocean, using a great flash engage to force out 3 flashes, secure a Mountain Drake, and a kill.
Excuse me, just looking to pick up. Oh!
Bouncing with a good flash. Hugh getting a great engage right there. Ari is coming in the good chunk. Not missing out his ball for his sins here. Is also getting murdered by the undead heroes. Heroic and everything spot right now.
Shooting straight into number 2, Taran Wanderer gets a quad kill using some slicky Bane plays.
Are they going to be able to take it before Nuno gets here? Here comes Ola. Everyone's here. Everyone's there. The misfight happens, but says what is still gets in here. This is a big team fight. Taran to the backside. Untouched. Free shooting. There goes one. Now here comes the damage. Is it going to be too much? There goes another. Now here comes the third one. Taran finally going to chase the fight out. There's the triple hit. Here's the quadra kill. Quadra kill.
At the number 1 spot is Breakfast Time, who helps his team 3v5 with a pentakill on Alawi.
No, they're continuing to go on. Midwest Express needs to be careful. Vladimir is positioning in the backside. Alistair getting absolutely bursted down. The Vladimir was landing onto 2. That's going to be huge damage. Alawi, tentacle slams, not being respected though. Takes down the Nocturne as well. Flash out, getting the triple kill onto the Nocturne and the Vladimir wants to kill onto the Penta. The Penta onto the Nar. The Vladimir Penta kill.
Jack here wants to be a winner, so Jack eats
as her 60 also forced a flash, almost killed himself. Although, oh, here comes the 6 bomb. Don't recall, man, it gets him. Oh no. Uh-oh.
Rutledge is gonna murder.
Gwen, hello! Oh my goodness, that feels bad.
But no, this Baron's gonna get stolen.
Auto Tiamat Brock.
Whoa!
Right now did get the ultimate down.
Baron!
Wait!
He's a spot!
No!
Frazzle gets the Baron steal. Frazzle gets no Frazzle. The one right into it. This is not going to work.
It has been proc, but can Uwe burn?
Wow.
Yes, he will. That's going to be the solo kill for Uwe Gooey, but T-Bird is going to get caught by Phoenix as Sonic Apps finishes channeling the ultimate. Where's the flash away, though, from the Swain of Phoenix? Is a big boy.
I don't know. Guys,
It's looking good, it's looking good! It's gonna be close! What the what? Hello? What? What?
That might be the worst looking one I've seen in a while.
Oh!
And the bot lane with his ultimate, and they
Frazzle.
play bot lane. Frazzle, however, is getting caught right here. The damage to land does get completely bursted out. King.
What? Phoenix!
Phoenix falls after he finishes the man.
I'm gonna go ahead and say misclick.
Coming in at number 5, Fight Club pulled out an early victory in the bot lane versus Killer Whale Brigade.
Because having Sejuani be behind in levels can be really bad.
You see the pings that are going down on spawn. That Flash exhaust coming out of Rome on this one. They're looking for the kill. The Flash is forward. Every summon to being used. And they will secure first blood on a Sun on front. Blue Sentinel. It might secure second blood here. Shoot a piece going down a snatch.
For number 4, Shuno of EG gets a triple kill after a failed dive by Midwest Express.
Great way to stall this is now, it looks like they try to slowly, the Prophet, you're a little bit caught out here, but a Prophet about to go down, gets stunned up, they're looking to stop the damage. Oh, the Thresh starts to fall down. Heinz's in bad position as well. Heinz gets slowed up, Shiro jumps in, Rocket jumps in, gets the reset. Here it comes again, Shiro gets another drop, Rocket jump, gets the stun off there, is about to get the third one. Gets the triple kill, Shiro going crazy now.
At number 3, Gotta Hell 22 steals a Baron to keep AOL in the game.
Playing against this Scion and this Zac that has such great long distance engage, so they can't really be safe at any point. Oh, but the steal.
Wow! I cannot believe AOL stole that Baron away. That is fantastic. And it looks like...
Breaking into number 2, Shere Khan Sejuani pulls off a Baron steal that stuns even our casters.
And now Sejuani looking to take the jungle. There it comes. He jumps in a little bit early there. Smite's late. Oh my god! What are we watching? This game is going crazy. Great job there.
And at number 1, Active Rush's Deathworm and Villain find an ace in a close-cut 5-on-5 battle.
Oh boy. Here we go. Oh, here we go. And might try to fight this one here. It is Baron after securing on the side of Active Rush. Port's gonna go down here, but how much damage is the Requiem gonna do? It's not gonna do it. Icy picks up the kill. The fight in favor of Active Rush. A double kill coming in for Jax. So far, Tristana doesn't go down. The triple kill coming in for Jax. It might just be more. Holy! It's a triple kill, and the ace for Active Rush.
I don't think Court this.
Shit, I never checked which teams these are.
We're starting right now?
Alright. We're starting right now.
Okay.
Alrighty. So how's it going, Duo Esports? I lied. I actually am coming back for this next game, as it seems our good friend Voss has decided to do the good old sleeps. Probably. Finally realized his terrorist background and that he's still continuing on.
That's the machine thing.
Alrighty, so we got EGA versus Fight Club coming out. The Enigmatic Academy looking much better than the Enigmatic Gaming on the GP size. GP side.
We went
Enigmatic?
2-0 this last week.
I'm just going to say EG.
Yeah.
Just to make
Chill
my
the flame.
easier.
As a reluctant starting player for EGM, we did Chill the Flame. We went 2-0. Okay. We still talk about the first 4 games. As the great Shuno once said, first 2 weeks, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, not at all. That's why I played Bardman my first week of Duo Esports last season.
Amazing.
It was spicy. We almost won against EG, funnily enough. Alrighty, so pulling out these stand-ins, and I'm looking at the wrong ones.
Boy. I believe Fight Club is 10th place right now, if I'm not mistaken. I do think they actually
They're ninth. They're in ninth
because
place
Obliterate
with 1 win.
doesn't have a win. Fight Club does.
Enigmatic's EG sitting very much so in the middle of the pack at a 3-2 score in 5th place. The final band's coming out with pretty broad focus across all, going from top to mid to jungle. Not a single support band, as we see Braum and Thresh immediately picked.
Yeah, overall, the big thing with EG coming into this season, they did actually start off the split as a top-tier team, and we were hit with the unfortunate Van Hammer to D. Carter, their mid laner, almost, I want to say star mid laner, to the point where they were not.
I think Terran Wanderer has been doing a great job of showing Shuno how to actually play ADC, at the very least.
Yeah, absolutely sorry to have myself cut off a bit there. Like I was saying, D. Carter was doing really well. EG was undefeated. Came back. Now they've got Schlidman, you know. Schlid, a player. He's looked a little bit questionable.
Certainly better than not having a player in that spot.
I mean, he's looked a little bit questionable at times, but I'm excited to see what he can put out against Fight Club, a team that I feel he should really be able to. If he's going to ever dominate a lane, I feel it's going to be today.
Fight Club pulling out a very traditional picks, pulling out the doing classic support jungle ADC pick. EG pulling out the Braum Sejuani, then tossing in a spicy little Jax, looking to already pick their top laner this early in the draft.
Yeah, absolutely. If I am EGA here, I am banning out the York 100%. York is the only other top laner left in the pick, and you want to ban that out right away.
The Cassiopeia pick being taken away from Shud, not allowing him to necessarily dominate the game as much as we would like, probably trying to make it a little bit easier on Jarvan to gank in that early game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look like EG is going to start targeting this top lane. It's going to take out the Scion first, kind of take away any instance of you where you have a safe laner against this Jax. Really looking to put on a skill lane in the top.
Yep. The mid focus continuing on Fight Club, taking out the Orianna as well. Really trying to divert that kind of team fight prowess coming from the mid lane. But I think, not knowing Schlitt's pick off the top, but knowing the mid lane pool overall, I think there's still a lot of options for the game that it looks like EGA is trying to play.
I absolutely believe Slid has played Orianna before. I heard some questionable things about it, but obviously you got to take it away because of how strong the team fighter it is. I think the big pickup for Schlid that is left on the table here is probably going to be that court gate. It would not be surprised to see him default to that. It's been a pick that he's been loving in solo queue. I feel like it definitely fits into this team comp where you've got a lot of frontline with the Sejuani Braum Jax.
the Syndra pick coming in for the most likely for the mid lane on Fight Club. Should able to have the counter pick along with having to pick their ADC during this draft, picking out the Vayne, probably mainly trying to look to play the early game a bit safer and pulling out the Vlad. Probably most likely looking to go mid against the Syndra.
Yeah, absolutely. Vlad is a very safe lane into maybe a more aggressive lane from the Syndra. Would have liked to seen a more maybe damage heavy mid laner coming out from Slit here, really proving a chance that he can be this second carry that EG needs. At the same time, they've got this Jax in this top lane, they've got this Vayne in the bot lane. A lot of late game spiking champs though for the side of EG, whereas we see a more almost early to mid game focus from the side of Fight Club with the Syndra. Kai'Sa obviously does spike late, but I don't know if you're quite going to be able to get there. Vayne Baram, pretty safe lane. If Thresh can, however, land some hooks onto this Vayne, and Syndra can one-shot the Vayne, I feel like it's going to be very rough regardless for EG to maybe even take the team fight at that point, just because Vayne should be so integral to this team coming.
And it'll be all on Fight Club to affect the pace of this game. They really need to take advantage of their early game pressure and really make life hard for EG going into that early mid game, or else they're just going to get outscaled as the game goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. If I had to make a prediction real quick here, I definitely say I'm leaning strongly towards the side of EG. I'm not really convinced in the Poppy as a Jax counter pick. I feel like the only point at which you ever want to draft a Poppy at this point in this meta is into Aurelia. That's the only point where I see Poppy being a valid counter pick in this meta. So unfortunately, I think just with the amount of team fighting late game scaling, I'm definitely going to have to give my prediction strongly over to EGA.
And I have to fully agree. Poppy not even really being able to stop much dash. Like a lot of people pick Poppy just because they think, oh hey, prevent dash, but she only prevents one dash, and EG actually has too many to really make the W come out strong. Nonetheless, Poppy's focus on more armor and stats against a Vayne just makes her basically a flimsy defense, and they can, as the game goes on, EG can literally just play the team fights front to back and just roll over Fight Club.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think Fight Club, they have a decent pick comp. You got the Cinderstone, you got the Thresh Hook. I feel like that's really your only chance of winning any team fight whatsoever is if you get this pick on these crucial targets like this Vayne, maybe like this Vladimir. Vladimir, as we know, is so hard to pick off if he uses that pool effect.
Be interesting to see how this early game goes. It's all on Jarvan to try to get some pressure, try to get some early picks, especially mid lane is I think a big focus. Next to top lane, it's pretty much all on Thresh to try to get anything happening bot lane. It's basically going to be battle of the supports, as both ADCs are more mid late, aren't really known for the early games.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I'm a little bit concerned about from the side of Fight Club, if they are looking to do this early game, I feel like the Ignite from Syndra is kind of grieving it out a little bit. I feel like if you take the cleanse against Sejuani, I believe you can even cleanse Vladimir, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like that offers you a lot more safety than the kill pressure that you gain by getting Ignite.
20 seconds now into the start of the match, and it'll be awesome to see how they both play it. Do you predict any early pressure coming in, like invade at all, or do you think both teams will just play it safe?
So normally I would think if you have a Thresh on your team, you've got this J4 level 1, unfortunately not. The only real CC you have on the side of Fight Club is this Thresh Hook. But the issue that I see on the other side is you have both of these big passive stacking stuns for the side of EGA with this Braum, with the Sejuani. And if either of those stuns can really pop off, I don't see if there's any way that Fight Club wins an invade. So I think Fight Club's just going to look for a pretty traditional 5-point. EGA could look to get spicy with it. They can land that Brom Q. Definitely, I think you have to flash if you remember Fight Club who gets hit with it. So definitely be interesting to see.
All right, and as we slowly load in, we're about to see whether any of our predictions come true. Have you been watching the bets at all from the Twitch chat?
It definitely looks like EG is, I don't want to say heavy favorite. Overall comp, like I'm personally am pretty biased to EGA. Looks like it's actually more even than I would expect. We saw a lot of bets coming in for EGA early. Those EG homers really paying dividends to EGA. But then we saw some more of the people really thinking the Fight Club's going to win this game. Obviously, I think they think maybe they can get this pick onto this vein. I mean, they do have a lot of burst damage in pick. Maybe Poppy a little bit better into Jax than I originally thought. I'm personally still not convinced. I
think it's pretty. I think it's overall a skill matchup. Jax has obviously the long trade game, but Poppy can easily just bug him the entire lane with Qs and then wait for him to get fed up with her and jump in and then just pull out the W to basically be like, haha, fuck
My
you.
issue is with this game is that I feel if EGA plays this calmly, they play this safely, they really play a game where they're going to say, okay, I mean, if you guys want to draft this early game comp, we're just not going to fight you. We're going to farm up. We're going to scale with our Vladimir, Jax, and our main. All of our carries outscale yours. Why would we fight you early game? Then you're stuck with this Poppy top line, who's tanky. I mean, you stop a dash, that's not going to stop the engage of EG. They've got the Sejuani ulti. They've got this Braum ulti. Jax isn't going to be the primary one that's going to jump in. And once all those engages are used, Poppy likely to use that dash counter. And then Jax just pops in on the back line. This Kaisa just melts.
And as a little birdie just told me, the bet so far is 71% for EGA to win, which I think is fairly accurate.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like EGA have proven that they are one of the better teams in IBSG. Fight Club, I believe their only win was actually picked up through a forfeit against Obliteration, obviously the last place team in IBSG. So I feel like Fight Club, like they really haven't really proven to us yet to what extent they can really succeed. They've struggled a lot early. I know they are one of the lower ranked average teams in IBSG. And obviously rank doesn't mean everything. But if you got to look at it from like maybe a pure mechanics standpoint, maybe those aren't up to par with everyone in the rest of IBSG.
And I think looking at Fight Club's comp comparative to EG's, it's very much so on the individual player skill to get anything to happen on Fight Club's side. Whereas you mentioned before, for EG, it's pretty much just they let their champions do what their champions do, and that works well enough as it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel however, I think if this Jarvan can get off some early ganks onto this mid lane, onto this Vlad, maybe not so comfortable on the champ, maybe it's a Vlad waste his pool to maybe dodge Syndra perhaps, because it is a very long cooldown early on that pool. If Jarvan can get a ganks and maybe get this Syndra rolling, I feel like Syndra could possibly succeed, but she's really going to need an early lead in order to effectively scale and keep up with these big beefy tanks, this Braum, Sejuani, this Bruiser, and this Jax.
Jarvan looking like he'll be starting red to start off this match. Fighting Club not quite pulling off a traditional 5-point, but still playing the early game cautious comparative to EGA's quite standard 5 spread.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe this is Fight Club's first game with their new coach. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, I believe he did facilitate this draft. Maybe it'll be interesting to see what his thoughts are post-game about this Fight Club, where he can really take the squad as far as drafting and doing these VOD reviews. It'll be interesting to see. I think, honestly, they have a decent amount of potential. I'm not going to count Fight Club out of the season just yet. While they have struggled a bit early, I feel if they put in this work, IBSG is really pretty open for the taking across those like 5 to 6 spots for the playoffs. Definitely not locked in at all yet.
One of the biggest advantages of IBSG play in general is you see people wildly improve. A lot of players, this is their first time playing in team environments, so you see a lot of people go through their learning curves and eventually rise up into the players that they know that they can be.
and it's pretty odd. You see a lot of underdog stories come out.
Yeah, absolutely. However, on the top side here, Fight Club did not actually manage to get a ward down onto this top pixel brush, while EG did manage to get one down in both. EG will look to have
looking like an early gank coming in on the top side. Jarvan sitting in the bush, waiting for the chance to go in on the Jax. As my camera doesn't help me out, the flash coming out early from the Jax, making it a very easy early game for Poppy. Jarvan probably looking to take some camps and then come right on back.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like Jax was actually pushed up onto Poppy's side of the lane, even behind the Poppy, if I saw that correctly. Definitely a little bit of a missed position there from Soulforge, not respecting the J4 level 2 game.
Starstro taking advantage of Jarvan's early gank to do some vertical jungling, taking his blue for reconsumps of trying to get that gank. Jax getting some good damage off on the Poppy, taking advantage of his current minion advantage. Jarvan looking to make that regank. Jax has the level advantage, getting great damage off on the Poppy as Jarvan comes back in, completely whiffing the E. Jax looking to possibly go on to either, getting some more damage off on the Poppy as the failed gank walks over to the top lane jungle. Oh, now Starstro coming in, getting an early gank off on the Thresh, getting the E just barely in time. Kill coming out early for Vayne for an easy first blood for EG.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to that topside play real quick, we saw that Soulforge is just sitting on a massive wave. We've had something like 12 caster minions. No real way for Scrub. I mean, I'm going to say Scrub Noob. I know that's the intention of the name. Definitely was a little scared to go in with the Poppy being so low, and then we saw Starstro take away the blue buff on the bot side. Jarvan didn't get any of Starstro's jungle. Definitely going to be a big lead to watch coming in, and Starstro managed to hand off the first blood to Tarn. That's going to be big.
Early game already going to EG's favor. Not good for Fight Club, as we mentioned previously. They have to try to get this momentum going for them. It'll be interesting to see where Jarvan tries to gank next. Heavily behind in CS, I believe, comparative to Sejuani. Oh, no, even now. My bad. What I get for not pressing tab. Oh, Jax going in on the Poppy, still trying to get those trades coming in. Still not quite being able to get that stun. Poppy just sitting very low. Jax full of resources, making this easy lane for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't look like he has quite a huge CS lead. However, going to the mid lane, when Bush slid, picking up that 12 CS lead over Syndra. Definitely going to be difficult to see if the Syndra is losing that early game. I don't know if there's a point in this game in which he's really going to be able to do much.
Yeah, Syndra is seen as a counter pick into Vlad because she has a lot more aggression constantly, but if Vlad's just given the chance to chill out in that lane, Syndra, I feel, doesn't really outscale Vlad nearly as hard. And Vlad's able to affect teamfights a lot more variably. With 3 carries being on EG's side, Syndra doesn't even have like a direct target to focus. Vayne getting off the damage onto the Thresh, getting an easy pick between the Braum passive and her E, getting a free kill and continuing the trade into the Kai'Sa, continuing to win. The trades of the passes of the ADCs going very in Vayne's favor, and looking like Vayne and Braum will be able to free push this turret. Might even look for a tower dive now that Kai'Sa is still trying to skirt the edges of that turret. Hungry for her own CS.
Yeah, absolutely. Kai'Sa forced to stay here in order to stay in this game. Really needs this wave so desperately. But EGA maybe starting to look like they're going to outclass, really get a massive lead in this bot lane. If you have a fed Vayne, already 2-0, it's going to be very difficult to come back from if you are fighting.
Vlad just constantly being able to tank the wave. Syndra's damage not coming in nearly as strong as you'd like. Getting the stun off, getting good damage, but Vlad just being able to heal up immediately after makes it very tough. Starstro contesting this scuttle, easily getting it as the top laners duke it out. Now a fight happening in the river between... nope, never mind. That's what I get for looking at the minimap, looking like they just backed off from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Starstro just kind of walk up and just bully the J4 off of the scuttle. Now if we take a look at the jungle CS, Sejuani quickly jumped up to a 14 CS lead. That's a lot of gold in your pocket early game if you are jungle.
Oh, Jack's looking to take advantage of the minions to get more damage off of his E. Poppy has now hit level 6, though, so I think she can win this fight. Getting very close. Conquer starting to be the deciding thing. Jack's being very smart and backing away before the Aftershock can do its damage. Poppy now knowing how vulnerable she is and looking to back under turret.
Yeah, absolutely. Jax wasn't quite 6, otherwise I think it's definitely an easy kill on his part. You see, Vayne is sitting on that pickaxe already. Vlad is sitting on the Hex-Checked Revolver right now. Definitely two strong early game items. I feel like EGA, if you're fighting any skirmish right now, definitely you're in a good.
Vayne's sitting on a lot of gold right now, has to look to back, but at the same time, they have to be careful when they back because that gives up the pressure onto the dragon. Even with Kaisa being behind, her damage against epic monsters is very scary, especially with Starstro already being low. They might look to contest some vision onto it so they can safely back and not worry as much about Fight Club trying to get this early air Drake.
Yeah, absolutely. Early Cloud, maybe not the best early game Drake, but it is a Drake regardless. And if that were to go over to a Fight Club sneak, definitely could play a big part later in the game. However, if we continue to look at this top lane, it's not looking good for the Poppy. Down about 15 CS at this point, seems to be having some struggles with this Jax. He's putting on so much pressure. Poppy hasn't quite been able to pick up that CS, especially into a lane in which you get outscaled pretty thoroughly. Not a good sign to see you falling behind early in CS.
Right, the Poppy and Jack still just constantly duking out. Poppy deciding to go into the Bambi Cinder to be able to trade more aggressively, push that wave in, but I think Jax is just going to win this trade. The Poppy W down, so Sejuani can just jump in freely. Sejuani pulling out the E and an easy kill for the top lane for EGA as Poppy continues to get further behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Poppy, really no point to flash there. You pushed up so far. It's like fighting the bot lane potentially, though.
Nope. Looking like that Fight Club is playing a reasonable amount back. Brom doesn't want to go too deep to try to get a kill at this point. They understand that we're already ahead. We don't need to push for this. We can just play this lane absolutely chill, look to further Vayne's CS lead, and just look to roll them over as the game goes on. Poppy looking to TP to protect her turret, but Jack's just getting his Q blocked, but not damaging Poppy quick enough, so it doesn't start tanking turret. Looking like Poppy might get the kill, but Jax just barely flashes in time to get away. Jarvan looking like he's trying to get a lane gank off. Oh, Thresh hit, just barely hitting that death sentence, sitting underneath the turret. Vayne pulling out her ult. Kaisa getting stunned between the Braum passive. Sejuani coming down with a great counter gank, but Jarvan getting the kill on the Vayne, just under turret, flashing away and taking down the ult. Now Jack's coming in, probably TP'd from the topside river, finishing the pickoff on the Kaisa, making it a 2-1 trade for EG.
Yeah, absolutely. EG looking very good in this early game here. Running this late game comp, it's still managing to find these early game advantages. They are going to trade 2 plates on this top side for this Cloud Drake in the bot lane. However,
Thresh looking to get Jax underneath the turret. Jax ulting to stop taking damage, doing a ton of damage to Thresh, showing how far ahead he is to the 2 levels down support. Jack's now looking to back, probably looking to go back towards topside as Vayne goes into the jungle to contest that topside. Are we seeing an early lane swap from EG here?
yeah, definitely looks like we are going to see an early lane swap. I'm not entirely sure the reasoning behind it. Maybe just bad timings. That's how.
Mainly to the Rift Herald. It's the only objective up, so they're looking to take advantage of that. Especially with how ahead and strong their bot lane is.
Obviously, we see 2 early kills on this Vayne and on this Jax. Definitely having these late game carries, having their build pass accelerated so much. The only late game carry who hasn't really had significant kill pressure has been this Vlad.
Absolutely, and Vlad's still just constantly duking out with Syndra, winning the trades because of his healing, setting up 23 CS over Syndra. Syndra only sitting on Lost Chapter. Vlad sitting on 3,000 gold. I think And Vane's sitting on 4K. I think, where am I looking at that wrong? Oh, I'm looking at that wrong. That's my bad.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
still sitting on 2K though.
Yeah, lots of gold that these big carriers are sitting on. Maybe if Fight Club can look to force a fight while EG has this gold in their pockets. Obviously does not get any value until you actually convert that to items and these combat stats. Definitely could be interesting to see if maybe EG gets caught.
Jack's just constantly looking for fights, pressuring the bot lane out of the turret. Kai'Sa's sitting top, desperately trying to get as much CS as she can, as EGA looks to try to get the pressure on her. Kai'Sa's sitting way too far out, getting ulted by Braum, getting picked out, and just easily dying to both tens. Vayne not even needing to be in that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Sejuani, E, and Braum Q and passive just completely annihilated that Kai'Sa. That's 2 stuns proccing back to back. Kai'Sa didn't take the cleanse.
Jarvan looking like he's going to try to contest this turret, but it's looking like EG will get it for absolutely free. Jarvan desperately trying to protect it as Thresh and Kai'Sa try to back him up, but I don't think they'll get there in time as Jax and Poppy continue to fight it out. Jax showing his item and level advantage by just being able to take everything Poppy can offer and say more.
Yeah, absolutely. Jax is going into that try for his first item with that Tiamat, even after the nerfs, just because of how far ahead he is on this Poppy. Of 40 CS now, along with 2 kills, that's a lot of gold in the pocket for this Jax, whereas if you're the Poppy, you're really struggling to find that gold rate.
Absolutely. Jax just constantly pushing it in. Poppy desperately trying to clear the waves. Jax constantly jumping on every chance he can get. The bot lane just desperately sitting on... Fight Club's bot lane desperately sitting on their tower. Kai'Sa trying as hard as she can to CS and not get poked at the same time. Turret plating falling very soon. The only plates that have gone away have been the ones that Poppy got with Jax's TP. Looking like all the gold is sitting just in EG's hands.
Yeah, absolutely. EG of 5k gold at this 14-minute mark. Definitely going to be hard, like we said earlier in the Champ Select. They outscale this game so hard. You're going to have to really see a play where Fight Club significantly takes a massive advantage. Maybe wins a team fight really hard. Or for them to get back.
Syndra getting some good damage on the Vladimir, but Vladimir ultimately not caring. Vayne ulting, looking like they'll pick off the Thresh very easily. The slow coming in to prevent them from chasing the second kill onto the Kai'Sa, but now sitting in the position to be able to tower dive. Jax and Sejuani now contesting the Jarvan, easily taking his blue and getting a ton of damage off. The E coming in to finish off the kill as Poppy desperately runs away, getting hit by the Sejuani ult, and finally flashing away, and Jax flashes after, finally succumbing to both Jax's stun and damage. Vladimir getting spicy, trying to flash in that turret to get the kill, but the stopwatch just barely coming in from the Syndra. Lots of fights going on all over the map as Syndra desperately tries to hit that E, but just out of range. Braum coming in now, potentially looking like he'll finish off this kill on the Syndra, easily getting it.
Yeah, absolutely. EGA looks like they've just completely and thoroughly outclassed Fight Club in this game. I'll be real, I don't think there's way back for them to get back into this game. I think the CC and the damage from EGA in this draft is really too much to overcome if you're Fight Club from behind this far.
Absolutely. Totally. Like, Jarvan's sitting just barely on 39 CS down. Extremely less kill participation. Sejuani just dominating the game in comparison. The only def on EG being Braum, who looks like he's going to be dying again. Sorry, Vayne. Braum looking like he'll get his first def. Jarvan getting a big ult, trapping in both Jax and Sejuani, both their ults down, so they're looking to just run away from this fight. Sejuani having to ult, Vayne coming in to try to pull the 1v3 dream, making a 3v3 as Jax and Sejuani come back in, easily killing off Kai'Sa, now taking out the Poppy as Vayne tries to look to get spicy after the Thresh, but the Syndra scaring her away. Looking like EG will easily get the Dragon. Vlad's scaring Thresh off from continuing to go on his Vayne. Looking like he'll pull out the Q to finish off the kill on Thresh.
Yeah, absolutely. All of EG's carries are massive at this point. Every single lane is up 30 CS and more at this point. Top lane, it's 50. Jungle, it's sitting right around 45. Mid lane, it's 40. Like, bot lane, it's 30 as well. There's really no positive point in this game if you are Fight Club here. we can really look to and say, well, at least we won that one. Not even any consolation prizes that EG's leading.
And it's looking like EGA is looking to turn it on even more, probably looking to contest this Rift Herald once Sejuani gets back from finally spending all that gold she's sitting on. Not a lot of gold in the pockets of EG anymore as they've finished to get their rotations off, as it looks like they'll reset the position in this game and look to probably do the exact same thing they've been doing.
Yeah, absolutely big item spikes coming out for EG here. Jax has a Triforce. Kai'Sa's on massive 2 item, or not Kai'Sa, Vayne. It's on massive 2 items with that Infinity Edge and that Rapid Fire Cannon. Just continue to add more fire to the flame for these EG carries, making them very hard hitting at this point.
Jack's just looking to get an easy pick on the Thresh, just appearing out of that bush out of nowhere, forcing him to use his ult to try to run away. Kai'Sa and Poppy looking to come over and contest him. Thresh hitting the Q on him, but Jack's just absolutely punishing Kai'Sa for ulting in, just being like, you got in my face, now you die. Taking out both of them, looking like a triple kill for Jax as he's just so far ahead as Vladimir now tower dives to Syndra, just running after her, using that movement speed he gets from his runes to continue getting after Poppy, desperately trying to get everything off, but becoming godlike as he finally finishes the kill. Syndra getting a great 3 stun to try to save Jarvan, but not quite in time.
Yeah, absolutely. Soulforge just straight up 1v3 Fight Club over there while they still want to fight in the mid lane. Not looking good if you're Fight Club.
Nope, the Reptile coming out probably able to get the 2 turrets, taking out the inhib and second tier turret. Kai'Sa trying to scare Jax away. I think she's playing with fire though, because even with Jax being as low as he is, I think he can still tower dive her at this point, sitting on his Triforce and Tiamat.
Yeah, absolutely. If that Jax is just so hard to deal with, we're looking at a 13k gold lead before 20 minutes. I think this game is all but over, and as soon as this Baron spawns, EG can just walk it down and end the game.
Pretty much, it's been a very decisive game for EG, completely showing how much they outclass Fight Club. Fight Club not even able to take the early advantage that their comp bellied to allow them, and showing that both the shot calling difference and potentially the drafting difference between both.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the big thing for me in this game, that was where Fight Club really went wrong. Obviously, I feel like they definitely had a draft disadvantage and just a strong scaling advantage over to EGA, while not having a strong early game advantage for Fight Club either. And then if you just look at how they positioned throughout this game, they don't have any vision on the Baron right now. They've really struggled getting vision because if they step up, EGA just kills them. We see throughout, Thresh has really been caught out while he's trying to lay this vision. So it's kind of just a lose-lose situation for Fight Club here, because you want to step up to get that vision, because you need it to contest the Baron, but as soon as you step up to get that vision, you get punished by EGA. So it's going to be very difficult to see what they're going to do. Like I said, being this far behind, there's no real way to get back into this game.
Absolutely, and EG, if you look at the map at any point, EGA is just, the map's constantly sitting with blue vision, as Fight Club, the only vision they can get is defensive, as Sejuani and Braum both start the Baron, with Vayne coming over, Jackson, Vladimir constantly sitting up, making it not as obvious that the Baron has started. Fight Club probably being aware, but not being able to do anything about it, as, like you mentioned, they easily will get this Baron and then probably walk down into their base and just declare it as theirs.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at a pre-25-minute game for EG. However, I don't feel that they should try and rush this game to make it a quicker end. I feel if you take it slow and steady, maybe preserve, try and play it not cautiously, but not over-aggressive to the point where you're just diving into Nexus turrets, it's going to be really hard for Fight Club to do anything if you just walk all these Baron card minions into their base.
Jack sitting bot lane against the Thresh and Kaisa, sitting 5 levels above both, 4 levels above the Poppy that tries to come in, now making it a 4v1. Jack's immediately ulting, scaring them off by coming in, showing that his E's up, taking a lot of damage, flashing into the wall, trying to get away. Braum jumping over, saving him. Jack's using both his flash and Q to get away. Vayne coming in now, hitting a nice E on Jarvan, just barely clipping the edge of that forest. And as they continue to pump them down, Vladimir flashing in. Jack's trading aggro with everyone else. A great snipe by Sejuani. Starstro showing that he's learned over time to finally hit those Sejuani ults. As a very easy trade comes in for EGA to continue on this absolute decimation of the game. Vladimir pulling out the pool early, looking like he might die for it. Braum coming in and just barely saving him. The Ignite and Q from Syndra just barely killing him, as Braum just quite wasn't able to tank enough damage to save his friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Irish Try, however, has still looked regardlessly great this game. Going back to the fight whenever Jax got caught out, Irish Try managed to clip Kaisa as she was ulting to force her to not quite get over that wall to finish off the Jax kill. So if you're Soulforge, you really got to be thanking Irish Chai in the voice comms right now. Really saving your life there really hardly. And can the EG just continue to push down all these turrets? They've got plenty of time left. Baron still over half of it left. You get lost Schlid, because, you know, Schlid positioning Omega low. It's okay though. They're going to continue to push down these turrets. And
Terra playing a bit with fire, sticking around with how low he is. The Blade of Ruin King healing. No, doesn't even have the Blade of Ruin King. What I get for not looking at items, so he has no healing. Just sitting around waiting for that red to come up and take it, showing how ahead, even more how ahead EG is. Finally backing to reset. Not looking to pressure on more with the Baron. I don't think they'll be able to reset in time to use the Baron anymore effectively, but they'll still have absolute dominance in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going over to his Drakes, the next one is an Infernal as well, continuing to add to EGA's massive scaling advantage to the point where maybe you don't quite close that early, but again, you win late, doesn't really matter. He's padding those CS totals, padding those kills totals. No reason to force an end.
Absolutely. Not even a 2 def on anyone on EG's side. Perfect games coming out from Jax and Sejuani, and only 1 def games coming out from Vladimir, Vayne, and Braum. Basically just... One thing I've noticed in EG's fights that they've done very well is they'll trade out aggro as the fight goes on, constantly backing in and out of fights, saying it's your turn to take damage, now it's my turn to take damage, letting Vayne just constantly accelerate damage. I think they played this comp very well, especially in fights.
Yeah, absolutely. Tarn is so hard to get at if you are the Syndra here. Braum Shield just blocks Syndra ulti, and there's not much you can do to get on top of the big kick.
Jarvan is their only chance to even get Vayne stopped, and even then, like, they have to deal with at least one person always standing beside Vayne, very much playing protect the ADC in a very tight fashion. Poppy and Jax looking to do little trades. Poppy winning out because Jax just doesn't really care to fight her at this point, knowing all he has to do is hold her there. Syndra hitting a great stun on the Vayne. Fight Club not able to do anything with it as Jax comes over and joins the fight. Vladimir getting pressure on the bot lane inhibitor as they look to take the mid lane inhibitor. Poppy ulting away all of EG's front line except for Braum, but not able to do anything with it as Fight Club is sitting too far back in that fight, looking to get in on the Vlad, but Vlad just pulling away, using his Banshee fails to show that he's not scared. Poppy Vayne ulting, looking to get onto the Jarvan, killing him before he even gets to ult. The Thresh ult coming out, trying to save Poppy, trying to slow him down. Now they're getting run over. Syndra looking for the ult. Getting the pick on Vayne because she played it too spicily. The Vlad pool coming out too late to be able to save him. But even with those great picks coming out on Fight Club, especially Syndra seeing Vayne playing a bit too up front for what had happened during that fight, they still win this trade just because of how ahead they are in gold.
Yeah, absolutely. EGA deciding they play this game a little too plainly. Soulforge gonna live by the turret though.
Just barely by the skin of his teeth, surviving that. Lucky he didn't die to it. That would have been a huge shutdown towards Fight Club. The gold vacuum between the two of them still pretty large, almost 20k, giving thoughts back to the last game played against 3rd World and Classic Esports.
Yeah, absolutely. If I remember in that game, there was a cast and into an Aurelian Soul. Very hard to win a game, especially with just such a hard counter. Looked like Classic win pick ban pretty hard. We see the same thing this game where EGA just wins pick ban. Gwaine obviously pulled maybe not quite a rabbit out of the hat. I've definitely seen some better drafts from Gwaine before. But the amount of CC that EGA has on their team, not really a lot of stuff that Fight Club can do because they just get CC'd forever.
Pretty much, and
actually, we don't even see any Merc Treads coming out for them. Not one of their carries bought Merc Treads. That's very questionable.
I think Kaisa's the only one that I can kind of see doing that, but even then, I think, especially with how far ahead Vayne was, I think she probably should have looked to get a Ninja Divide, trying to survive more of those fights and get more CS. At this point, it's a moot point because of how ahead EG is, so it's like pretty much whatever they build, it wouldn't have mattered at that point. EG looking like they'll get this Baron pretty scot-free. Jarvan going in way too late, not able to getting absolutely blasted. Sejuani ulting over the wall, getting ulted away by Poppy. Flash is coming all out from FC, and Jack's showing how he can basically 3v1 this fight. Another flash coming out from Poppy. Sejuani coming in to help finish off the kill on the Thresh. Vayne trying to be the classic 1v2 god, but getting pushed away by the Syndra as they look to get the final inhibitor and probably finish up this game using Baron to their advantage to just push down the turrets.
Yeah, absolutely. Fight Club knowing that they can't give up that dragon, but at the same time they don't win that fight. Definitely very hard for them to make a decision here. No really correct macro decision at this point. If you're Fight Club, you gotta take just basically a
Jarvan trying to get in, getting good 4-man ult, hitting everyone, but just getting absolutely blasted again. Kaisa trying to come in from the back to kill the Vayne, but not being able to do it in time as her entire front line comes to become the back line, and pushing away them into the Nexus turret as they finally look to get the Nexus and finish off this stomp of a game, being 21k gold up, and not Classic Esports, that was last game. Fight Club not even having a turret taken to their name.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe the only turret damage in the game was on the top turret, even when Poppy was forced to do that after Jack's TP bot made a play. So definitely a very rough showing from Fight Club and a very strong showing from EG.
Whew, pretty intense game and pretty great win by EG. I'll admit I'm a bit tired after this being my first cast and doing 3 games in a row. I apologize for any mistakes I made during casting. I still have a lot to learn, especially when it comes to team comps and
Caster's always right, here's always wrong.
Twitch chat's always wrong, right?
Absolutely.
You hear that, Twitch chat? You hear that? You're always wrong.
That's just how it works.
It's how Mafia works.
Oh, absolutely. Going and taking a look at the damage charts, Vladimir and Jax leading the way for EGA, while Syndra leads the way for Fight Club. Actually led the game in damage, was able to get pretty solid damage onto EGA's front line.
Second Braum in a row showing his dominance in the vision control game, doing exactly what the Braum did last game, just constantly being able to just jump into the enemy's jungle, take out their vision, and not even care if they contest them because his team's right behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like just a big vision score performance from the Braum here. 63 to Thresh's 26. Not a whole lot you can do at that point if you're Thresh. You saw him trying to get vision, unable to really successfully get that vision, and just kept getting cut out.
Totally. And I think the overall vision score, especially on their ADC having the second highest vision score, mainly because he totally ran with Braum and was able to take out a lot of wards with him.
their jungler being the second worst, and the same with FC. Junglers really should have the highest, second highest, because of how much they can move around the map, but that's a moot point with how clear cut this game was.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, I believe we're just about finished up with our cast for today. Carson, if you want to show us out.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Show, for the viewership today. Was great to see everyone in the chat being actively flaming, just like any good League of Legends community should. Some great games coming out between Nevermore, and I forget the team they won against, even though they won hardcore. 3World Democracy and Classic Esports in our final match to finish the night that we just finished casting, EGA versus Fight Club. Thank you very much for your time, and make sure to continue flaming and have a wonderful night.